yet, so we're gonna be watching. The first is the I made a decision. This to okay, so let me
the meal, but
so we're gonna watch the Ethan.
Let me show you how Factor.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Content Deputy. Now normally in a Content Deputy I would dance around in my cop outfit in the woods.
Yeah.
But this video isn't going to have any of that fanfare. We're just going to get straight into it. I was hoping that if I made a video about Ethan, he would act like an adult and he would keep the attacks directed at me and Anissa. Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that because Ethan, in a desperate attempt to attack and smear Anissa and I, he started attacking our charity event.
I don't know if you know this, but the last...
Oh, and let me say that, I would too. And mainly because, like, if, for people who don't know, for people who don't know anything, literally the charity, they literally don't even use the charity properly. Like, okay, I'm
last year they lost $250,000. To be charitable, you actually have to give money to charity, Hassan. You have to give money to be charity. It's like a slush fund for them.
Ethan and Neela are well aware that we raised $1.3 million for charity the first year of Creator Clash.
Yeah.
The second year we operated...
Yeah, which showed that you lost that amount. I'm sorry, Black Creator event. Wait, what did he say?
To give money to be charity. It's like
our charity event.
I don't know if you know this, but the last year they lost $250,000. To be charitable, you actually have to give money to charity, Hassan. You have to give money to be charity. It's like a slush fund for them.
Ethan and Neela are well aware that we raised $1.3 million for charity the first year of Creator Clash. The second year we operated at a loss.
But that literally does not matter. Sorry, that may be it sound a little pessimistic, but literally, it does not matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Here's a hint. Here's a fun hint you can do to actually see why. It does not matter. It's literally because, like, you have, I don't know what to say. No, I do know what to say. Bad point. Like, it's literally a terrible statement because you guys did lose money. I think the first year, if I remember correctly, was literally just Creator Clash. Like, people were doing it. And of like, oh, cool. Oh, cool. There's now a fun activity. Literally, I think, like, people actually, like, it's a scam. Like, I think the first year, if, like, you guys may hold that money because of, like, it was unique. Then, like, the second year came around, like, I'm looking up something. This is how much I'm gonna be bad. Like, I'll just tell you, so, in the first one, you had, I did a thing. Sorry, I have the original. So, you had Dad, which were popular. You had Justin Minks. You had Michael Reeve. You have Graham Stepp. You had Alex. You have the odd one out, I did a thing. And Epic Mealtime. And Game Grumps. With the big one being IDUBs and Dr. Mike. Those were big names, and that would be mainly that era were a lot of them. Let's go with 2. So in Creator Class 2, remember you have big names. Yeah. Well, give me one I can read. So you had Dad, you have that. You had pretty much a lot. Like the only one I can see of like you have some decent name, but you didn't have big names. Well, you like the bigger one is Epic Mealtime Dad, obviously, and the big one being Alex and that. So it did not make a lot of money because it didn't have a lot of popular people. And also you had the Froggy Fresh, which basically showed that they did not care. For this one, they still is you still have popular. You have more popular. Like you're getting the Minecraft scene, which they won't pay for. Couple other, you pretty much lost your one female fighter. You pretty much lost a lot of the people who should have.
I take full responsibility for that. We did band together. The community and the fighters involved ended up raising $175,000.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in this situation. That like saying that takes out all the complaint I have, because like you guys still made money, but you should have made money there. And half of it would because you guys ran it like a gala. Sorry, let me say it like this. The reason why Creator Class 2 failed, if you actually look at it, was how they were running the behind the scenes. They gave too many tickets out. They gave flights. They picked a big arena, which you should always... Here's the thing. It was smarter if they did what they did last year, where like the one they did, but the big issue with this, and this is sort of the issue with Creator Clash. Cool. I got more cocoa beans. I think you could actually put in valid points. Like the big one is Creator Class failed because of the gala behind the scenes. It all after the fact of ticket sales. Like my bet was they got cocky. They went in. They're like, "Oh, we made this much last year. We can pretty much like go in and do this." But guess what? Most people who run events will tell you. Sorry, it doesn't end there. It does not end there. You have to run it like an actual company. They went a little too big. We can all say that. I think, and with the Froggy Fresh, which basically said, because I think the big issue is with Creator Class 3 also with Creator Clash 3.
For charity. It's been really disheartening.
I'm pausing. We're gonna watch it and then I want to watch like a couple hours of H3. But the big thing is, I think the failure of Creator Clash 3. It definitely how they were treating some of their fighters. I think it could be just that. I think I even have the letter that they got, and I know Corp a little bit of wording language. I can break it down. Because here's the thing. Most people didn't actually read what they put. Hold on. Yeah, most people didn't read what they posted. I did. And I could tell you what it says. And you know what it said something else. But okay, we'll keep going.
To see how often Ethan will attack Creator Clash through us or attack us through Creator Clash.
Ian and Anissa masters.
But you set it up.
He's reposting random troll accounts that are very easy to vet. If you click on this profile, it has a bunch of Sam Hyde adjacent posts. And it just
but
hates
here's the
Anissa
thing.
Come on, dude. You're one step away from calling me a cuck. Just take the plunge. He's highlighting this post that equates Creator Clash to a crypto rug pull. He's saying the event is going to
It was. I'm sorry. It was. When you guys openly admit that you guys are more focused outside of the charity aspect. You know why? Like Connor VA auction worked? Because it made it clear with two things. It combined both. It also probably been like you have to pay money to get in. So you're pretty much paying for the drinks there. So that's the reason. And most likely, here's the other thing, and this is big. They have a minimum count for the auctioneers. So don't even say. Don't even say that. Like it's a dumb thing. Okay. It's a dumb statement.
Worse than TanaCon? Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Ela. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so...
I mean, you guys will. And you are with this video. I'm sorry, but... Like, you made the video because you guys... I watched this, so I know what to say. Okay.
So, that will rest solely on my shoulders. But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it. Now, with this recent revelation that people...
Most of the internet doesn't blame them. Most of the internet blame you guys. Here's the thing. It's rarely... And this is true. This is a true statement. People rarely blame people outside the workings. The only time they do, if it's actually bad faith and like bad banana, like it was something major which could not be avoided. And when I say that, I mean like an attack or something major, really bad. Rarely you blame people outside.
Are just going to use Creator Clash to attack Anissa and I. Anissa and I have decided to step away from Creator Clash. We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous two events. They're very capable. They know exactly what they're doing.
I need to find that
run
company.
events,
on
a regular basis.
There's something I actually wanted to look up. I also need to... What the best... Okay, hold on. I'm a genius. Okay, we're going to do it like this. Probably a little bit higher. I'm like figuring out what the best placement for everything is. And I think this is. Okay. What company runs Creator Clash? Because I want to look at this. A good... Way. Good Real Touring? Oh my... Oh my god. Oh my... That's the funniest thing, yeah. If... Okay, I know who actually is running Creator Clash. Oh boy, we can criticize. We can get what we're going to criticize heavily. Real Good Touring. If you don't know Real Good Touring, guess who the owner of that company is? Okay, cool. My stream died for 5 seconds. Okay. Is Good Real Touring. Good Real Touring. This is the company. So, you could see some of their event, like Throw Controller, Mega Twerp, Game Grump Live Final Party, Super Mega. So look at what they're doing. Epic Rap Battle History. So, Good Real Touring is... Yeah, I know. Oopa. Oh, this is their old website because they stopped by advertising. Please tell me it has it, and I'm not being lazy. I'm mining a little bit. Hold on. I'm farming. Hold on. Yeah, but with the company. See, this is the weird part. Okay, fundraising for Live Nature with support from Tilly. Yeah, Real Good Touring right there. Real Good Touring is a company that I'm known for CEO, not their owner. Aaron. So you may be wondering who is Aaron. Aaron HASAN. Well, we need to double check the roster. Creator Clash roster. Maybe one. Not that. It definitely does not have Aaron. Wait, what? Open image. Wait, but it didn't. I thought it would go and expand. Hopefully that does. If you can't see right, okay, it has it. So all the big names there, and then what should go down? What should go down? Aaron. Where the Aaron HASAN. Yeah, no, he should be on the lip. Okay, there he is. Oh, wrong one. Aaron HASAN is the owner of Good Real. You know, Good Real Touring. The reason why I'm bringing this up is it's still a YouTuber. They're hiding it. Most likely due to some reason. Most likely because...
Are you looking for a new fence?
Because guess what? They can't say it another YouTuber. They're generally scared that, like, if someone found out that, like, it's some YouTuber that like heavily big in the scene, who would heavily more. And you know what? This is actually interesting. This is actually interesting because this is actually an interesting thing happening because to basically be nice, to basically be, where am something I don't need? I'll put my trash rod right there. And then anything else before I forget? Okay, no. Which is actually a good point to bring, that Aaron Hudson is the CEO of Good Feel. This is a production company run by another person. We don't. Here's the thing. I'm going to be good faith to Ethan. It could have been him. Like, they're moving blame, but like, I know which channel to blame.
Or gate for your home or property, type in your address and drop the red pins to create the perimeter.
The event is still happening. Anise and I just don't
until
have
like
any financial ties. We don't have any ownership. We are, you know, I think just going to be known as the founders of the event. Yeah, I mean, I think it had to come to this eventually. I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't. I mean, I can. I just didn't want to. I want to be frank.
I could talk. I could say.
I was very quiet during the second creator clash because I was afraid of how that would impact other people. This year, I said I'm going to do something different. I'm going to fight back if someone's trying to attack me. So that's what I did. And now I've realized, like, I can't really have my cake and eat it too. It's either you're going to talk shit like a foul beast on the internet.
No, it's being dumb. Like, I'm going to say it. Why you think people watch Jake Paul? Jake Paul say dumb stuff all the time. I'm sorry. This is the reason why you fail. It's not that you jump into it. I'm sorry. If you actually think that, you do not know how to run any company. And I hope you worked at like a McDonald's. I'm going to move here because then when I lay down, okay. When I lay back. Okay, this is why.
Internet.
No, I'm going to say, if you actually think of that, you do not know anything how to run a company. The big reason why everyone was calling you out wasn't because you were not keeping your mouth shut. The whole reason why people were that is you made your fighters uncomfortable to a point where they would have to pay $12K, and that's not a good sign. That is not a good thing. When you have two of your fighters leaving because they do not feel comfortable, that's a problem with the organization itself, not with them. And like, you could be like, and you also like polluted your thing this year. I'm sorry, you lost a lot of good faith. Like, now you have to have HASAN do it into there. By the way, here's the sad part. Most of the charities that are being put in, I need to check. I need to check which one they're going to. But normally they went to YouTuber charities. And I'll say that most YouTube charities are scams. They're scams. Dude, what we learned with the completionists, that you can run a thing without giving money, and you could set up. Most of the are legal companies that are heavily used for tax loopholes, that most likely don't do anything besides pay a couple people. Okay, I'm going to teach you guys how to commit legal tax evasion. Legal. If you actually want to run something to not pay taxes, run a non-profit like the Bill Gates Foundation. You put your family in an employee. You give them money, checks. All that money cannot be deducted. So guess what you could do? You could put your money there, and once in a while you need to do good, so you do that. But you put a lot of it in salaries. I'm in California. That's pretty common. And that way we're called the chair. We call it something. I'm not allowed to repeat it. Twitch and YouTube. But that's sort of the thing. So like it's a bunch of YouTubers getting charities. My bet is the real journey will take over, and this is their main thing. And I can't wait for it to crumble even harder. I'm gonna keep watching. We're gonna keep watching.
Or you're gonna have a charity event. You know, it really can't be both. I'm very proud of the event that we made with Creator Clash. It's still happening, June 28th. I'm just not gonna be involved in it. Please, for the love of God, support this event.
Oh wait, oh wait. You know what? You're going to talk about it. I have the. I need to re-pull up. My phone basically being like, no, you don't need that up. I'm going to use Eat because I don't want to give them recognition. And also I saw it quicker on Eat. Because I want to go into the corporate speak of it, by the way. Because so for anybody wondering, their corporate speak of firing people in this way. It like PR wise. Okay, I have the 3. I'm gonna read them after I do my one thing you can't see. I'm gonna actually make this a bit smaller. That better? Probably a bit more. I think people full play it, so I'll do that and see how much it changed. But we're going. I think you need carrot. No. 7. Chance of cactus. Okay, so I'm going to read it right now. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to increase that. But okay, it basically said E and IDUB have made the difficult decision to fully step away from Career Clap, both publicly and behind the scene, and they are wrinkling their ownership of the event. Basically means that we have to keep reading. It doesn't tell anything. The decision wasn't made lightly, but it was a necessary step toward returning to Career Clash, to the core purpose of bringing the community together for the night of boxing, field of pattern discipline, and raising money for cause matters. So, here, corp. I can't do it. I don't have one. I love, unless I do that, and then do that. Okay, cool. That works. So, second line basically told me that they got yelled at. Since the beginning, the event had been more about the fight and pushing themselves beyond limit. Pointly filled, basically saying what their goals are. Yeah, basically since the beginning, it had been about creator putting themselves beyond the limit. Fam rally behind something positive and using energy. Yep, pretty good. Since Career Class Initiative, we have always been able to raise meaningful fun and awareness for charity, making real impact. That mission had lots of focus in recent weeks, and it clear that for the event to move forward, thing needed to change. We're making space for change now. At part of the fall, both Harley and Lena have stepped away from their scheduled fight. We are disappointed to lose to Career, who brought the heart, and we understand and respect their decision. So, what they basically said, for anybody who doesn't understand legal, was because of the content the people made, we are not going to be working with them. And we either bought the rights, or we had a contract basically saying that we own them. Like, we own the rights. Which is pretty common. It's pretty common for that. Like, they probably sold the rights a couple years back. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But I think, like, this was showing that they weren't completely running a good event. That because of this, because normally when you are running events like this, you have something called a PR team. You know, PR, public relations. That's what PR stands for. And most of the time when you have PR there, their goal is to go in and basically be like, and they look through your tweet. They're like, you can't post that offensive. We will get called out. It's kind of shocking they didn't have one for this. This is one you would have definitely talked to a PR team for Career Clash. And I have a theory why they didn't. Most likely, they thought they can get some attention. They had the schedule post. But I think here's the thing. I think Ethan can do his content nuke way earlier now. Like, obviously, like, now. And there's some other thing. Like, I think they should have gave Harley and Elisa, like, removed that $12K each. Like, they didn't have to pay that back because of the mismanagement. But find your way. And they probably did. Because normally, they kind of do tell you if they do that. Because they're like, oh, we're letting you keep in case, like, the fire still in the car had been trained for a month in silence, wet, and shadow of everything else. Else going on. They deserve the spotlight, not the fault. The event will never about any one person and should not be defined by internet drama and personal conflict. Basically saying that, oh boy, we have to remove the bad faith actor, but we want people to still go. Look at it, we removed that one guy. And then our hope have already been to make the event. Our hope already been that the event could be for its good, one night of entertainment, effort, community, filler, parts. If you feel disappointed or let down by the night, we hear you, but we hope we can continue to support the people stepping in the ring. They work hard, and the charity we fight to. Okay, that was filler too. Sorry, those two part were filler. Basically, that was saying that. Then again, I don't think it would at least an IDUB decision. I think it would the company. And there's sort of way you can tell from these is how it is a company and not. By the way they talk about it. Because normally, because here's the thing. You ever seen like those shows and they have like a public statement about like VTuber termination? I would say that because that's like sort of common for what I'm about to say. VTuber get terminated or graduate, and they're like, unfortunately, so and so is graduating. We're very sad that they are. And then it turned out, oh hey, what? Cool beans. I'm gonna try something. We're gonna try something. If it works, I'm gonna be happy. If it doesn't, I just thought about something, and I think I could do it. If it works, I think it fixed one of my issues I have with it. I'm gonna try after. But I think that basically either good tour didn't their PR team didn't, because I think they had one after Froggy Fresh. Just because of what happened. And they probably told them not to jump into drama. They did that, and they were mad. And most likely, Anissa and them were trying to get into, like, good grace of HASAN. Because HASAN's saying, oh, I'm doing a charity event for Career Clash. No, just do one to a charity. Like, here's the thing. No one cares about Career Clash anymore. It cringe. No one likes them. And basically, I just recommend changing. But, okay, we'll keep
I feel like
watching.
in some ways, I'm like cutting off an arm so that I could escape the bear trap. And so I can...
No, no, I'll give you a better example. You're cutting your livelihood, something you can do outside of content creating, which you guys did, that could have lasted for like 10 years, minimum, and would have actually made you enough money to retire. You cut all that off to make a point about something that you never knew, something you never researched. But,
well, that's a bad analogy. You guys get it. We've already told all the fighters, and it seems like most people understand that this is the best move. If the previous content cop was entertaining to you...
Most likely, here's the other thing. They probably were talking to them about the content cop, and most likely, if more of them dropped out, they would have canceled, and they would have made them all pay their money back, so they felt like they were kind of forced to. I want to see their opinion. I want to see Tubble's opinion of all this. Because, like... as like a young content creator like him, you're like 20, like I think a year, but like 22, 21. This is sort of the thing you don't want happening. I'm sorry, it's one of the things you really don't want, like, this whole issue to happen, because now, like, you're kind of forced to make that decision to an audience that is too young, or like the odd one out. That's another thing. Like the odd one out. Like the odd one out. I think it's a more interesting example because they pretty much financially are like dooming most of the people there based on that one.
Or this video is entertaining, or you like the message, the best thing that you can do, for me, is to support Creator Clash. Buy a ticket, buy a pay-per-view ticket, an in-person ticket, or donate to the fundraiser.
No. And here's the reason why I'm not. One, do they have the IP? Their question I need to have real good tour. Do they own the IP of Career Clash? Do you sell the Career Catch ID? Are you getting royalty from it? If you are you being good faith and you are basically going in and being like, I don't care. Like, there are 50 ways you can make a point in calling them out. But beside that, like, I'm not supporting them because guess what? They lost money. They didn't pay charities. I want like a good assurance. Like, that way I think like Connor VA does better charity because they're like, his bike-a-thon is pretty low cost and I know my money can go into that charity front. If it's like purely going into charity. Which I'm more reassuring of because there have been results without negatives. Like, the big controversy is him falling off his bike.
Razor. I just want to see this event do well. You know, I didn't try this shit because I thought I was going to be a good boxer. I didn't think I would be an awesome event organizer.
you did it because you want the gala for streamers, but the streaming was done.
Which is making fucking content cop videos. I don't want to make this too ham-fisted, but I kind of do want to make it ham-fisted because I'm like, I spent my last fucking 4 years working on this stupid boxing shit. I mean, it was worth it, absolutely, but like, it's crazy.
Yeah, you hated it.
I just returned to content cop.
Hold on, just say you hated doing the boxing event. It was meant to be like a reassurance for all that. I don't know why you did, and then you hated it. Just say that. Just say like you didn't like what happening. This is the part I don't like about the streamer, man. They go in, they complain about Hold on, I need to double. If I get one more, oh, I can't. Do I have? I think I have an idea, and it may work. Yeah, right here. And then golden shovel, and then I think it's a better statement to say like they're way more safe option, and I think Career Club will go on fail because like the same issue are applying, the same issue I think it heavily realized with a lot of the creator events. And like the only thing I could give Tommy in it, he really doesn't promote, by the way. He doesn't promote that good, but he does promote. Is they don't promote, and it's really bad. Like for example, I think like these like content creating companies are very much scams. But like people know about Gamer Sub because they have what? They run it like a company. And guess what? That company gonna be around 10 years longer than the owner, which is Jay Slack. Which is even funnier, by the way. Okay, but we'll keep
Having
watching.
said all that, Creator Clash ticket link down in the description.
Don't care.
Go check it out. Buy tickets.
Don't care.
Support the charity. Support the fighters. And
I'm not supporting. I'll say the same thing most people will say. If you actually care about charities, donate to them officially. Like, here's the thing. If in Career Clash 2, you donate money to here's the fun part, to the charity and pirated, you gave more money to the charity than Career Clash 2, and you had a reinsurance because you know the costs are not getting explained. Like, I don't know about Connor V8. Let me say, I don't know, but I know at least my money could partially be going into it. Because here's the thing about running a charity. You low cost that. And there was not low cost with that, which is bad.
a good ass time. I mean, ultimately, I think it's a good thing because I think I am meant to roll around in shit. I think me and Ethan are both meant to be rolling around in pig shit all day long, and other people are meant to do.
No, you're supposed to roll. Here my opinion of it. I think this is a better way of saying it. Do I not have anything I could? Sharp. Oh wait, I think sharp fin I can actually put in. So sharp fin, and then sorry, I'm like doing. And you. I think, and this is my statement on it, career, like, I think Ethan, like, matured. Like, I think one of the things of maturity is realizing you can't. I think, like, even though he had every controversy imaginable, he matured more often than IDUB. Because IDUB goes in, he like, dude, you made a video about drama you couldn't.
Boxing or debating or whatever else. Ethan and me, pig shit rolling around type of fellas.
No. Here's the thing. In like 10 years, I can actually imagine Ethan Klein having a company and can fully retire. You know who I can't see fully retiring in 10 years? IDUBs. Literally. And I'm saying retire from content creating, moving to another industry. You ran a failed company, a failed charity event, because you overspent. No company would want you. No, one company would. McDonald's. Like, I'm sorry. You guys run not a bad podcast where you guys pretty much will be poor. Like, the only way by making the edgy content, which will get you banned off Twitch, you're in like a, you have no win condition route. And we're going to see that. We're going to see that.
You underestimate my strength! I've got kosher strength! The will of Allah! I mean Yahweh! Yahweh!
But that's funny.
I labeled at Ethan is that he's a bad boss, a tyrant of a boss.
Yeah, bad boss, which is a big point on the anti-Ethan train, that it's basically becoming a near parody, or even worse, schizophrenia. Like, sorry, if he had a bad boss, they would have left. I knew a girl who were working under a bad content creating thing, and here's the thing. And they're true, I saw patterns. And in my opinion, not hers. I think Ethan has less traits of that abusive, like, creator than IDUBs. IDUB probably have more, which is like, I think in 10 years, we'll see IDUB, some guy come out and you'll be like, yeah, I work with IDUBs. He was one of the worst employees. Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah, right now we're just doing this. I should probably go for you. How many times do I have? Okay. 7 carrots. I got that. So I need 3, put 1, 2. Okay, cool.
Implied that he was being taken advantage of by people either in his community or outside of his community, and I called him a bitch-made coward. That was like the summary of personal insults labeled at Ethan. Before Ethan even knew what my video was about, he was already framing me as anti-Semitic.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys. Let's get after it. Israelis have no rights to defend themselves, actually. All Israelis are settlers, actually. What is he going to give me a history lesson now? Is he a historian? Yeah, he just discovered empathy, by the way, and only extends to the point where you're actually talking about Jewish people or Israelis. Then empathy stops and they should all be murdered. Bro's actually out there like Timothy McVeigh. He's running to the closest fucking kindergarten to blow it up. There's a Jew. I heard there's a Jewish.
I mean that.
They want all you guys to quit and for me to just be like alone. Little Jew boy alone.
Like Ethan under a year ago was
I mean,
saying,
that's actually a reasonable point. Dude. Like, after the Frogan video, dude, I 100% see that now. It's sort of cringe, but you see that. You see that now. You see, like, I saw that with, like, HASAN. Because I watched the debate, and I'm like, dude, that doesn't make your side look good. I see that, I'm like, dude, you need to get a girlfriend. You need to, like, I know your girlfriend is Ray, but dude, you need to get a life. Probably you shouldn't even go out with Ray. Hold on, my bet is like it's gonna be like the Taylor Swift thing, where they're dating, but like outside, they don't do anything. Like outside, you see the content cop. So I do need to buy like 2 more. 164. of yeah, I will sell you to make my profit for you. Okay, we'll keep watching.
Use anti-Semitism in that way. He's not a guy to call anything and everything anti-Semitic.
You know, in my whole life, I've never screamed foul on anti-Semitism. I literally have been getting this shit since the second I stepped foot on the internet, and I have never fucking ever done this. Okay, so the people online, they're saying, "Oh, Ethan's making himself a victim," or "Ethan's making everything about anti-Semitism." I've done this once in my life, right now. But he's like, "No, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?"
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I mean, I get that he's scared.
But that
and
old
offended,
thing.
But this was the whole fucking point of my video, Ethan. I was saying that you shouldn't be doing this. It led to me making this video in the first place. You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing, and then you immediately equated a niece and I to it. That was sloppy, and that was horrendous, and it was horrendous for us.
Yeah, and you guys should have not defended the person spreading the CPS thing. I mean, dude, the bet win condition for you that would have boosted your support way more to get that, but you don't have a backbone. You're probably, this is what happened. This is probably what happened. I will say that when I talk.
And now
about
you're doing it again.
I'm gonna watch it live.
Should you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. But like, why?
I just don't think. I feel like you're gonna get really emotional and say something you regret.
Well, I've got the button.
Like, I know you don't have a problem taking it head on, but I just feel
Of course not, because I know that
you're
whatever...
understandably upset, and I feel like it might be a little.
We wait to talk about it, or you want to talk about it?
You should do it off stream. Because I don't know. This escalated initially because we were live and you guys were heated about. I forget what it was.
I just think it might be wise to watch it, think out your thoughts, and respond in a calm way. Because there's no chance that you don't get heated.
I think it would better to actually do it live, and I think it would the smartest thing to do it immediately live. Because think about what it did live. It basically hurt HASAN's thing, where he now had to be forced. He sort of like, oh no. Basically overshot with both the Sam Cedar debate, which, dude, that debate was bad. I'm just gonna say on both sides. I think Ethan win condition would way easier there than HASAN's, than Sam Cedar, because his would just survive. Sam Cedar was, hey, I need to survive, but I have to make this guy look like he does not support me. And he probably got told he didn't support him. And it was sort of like, oh no, a private talk. Yeah, we're gonna get that after I do this.
I don't need to fucking pre-watch this. I don't need someone else to hold my hand through it. Like, I'm ready to take on anything that these people have to say about me. He's like, "No, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys.
Yeah,
I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys."
You attacked us, so I attacked back, and now you're acting surprised and shocked, and you're doing it all on your podcast live. So naturally, you reacting live is you having an emotional reaction and seeing things that honestly are scary.
I just said I vented about them not defending me. What the fuck is he like? He's actually losing his shit and I just can't believe it, dude.
Should you call him up?
Yeah, but you know what, cringier? I can't skip the ad because I have to.
With Ashley's next-gen Nuvella Performance fabric, you can relax.
Okay,
These
cool.
pieces are easy.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. Fair weather friends who are so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Yeah, but also your wife ruined. Also, Anicia ruined it. And you want to know why? Didn't she put a tweet saying he went on drugs? I'm sorry, but you can't make the video be like, oh, and then your wife do that. Even if she's a different person, you should have communicated that would not help you, and it didn't.
Sucks for the same reason right now. He could say something.
Spineless. Spineless.
Spineless.
Our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video.
But you didn't bring up the CPS. I'm sorry. You weren't charitable at all. I think like you put like Nick, you put like an actual white supremacist like Nick Ferrentes, and he probably will be 10 times more charitable than IDUBs and HASAN. Like an actual anti-Semitic will probably be more charitable. Canon Owen will probably be like in there, be like, you know what? That was kind of shitty. But the people don't. And it's so funny. It's so funny. Because he's saying he's charitable. Dude, you were with people who support Bad and Pinar, which support it. I'm sorry. But I don't hear you downplaying like all the CPS call that bad guy. By the way, that was bad. But you know what even more worse? And here's... I'll give you a hint. I will give you a hint what I'm about to say. Oh. Boom. Like, I think, like, it's so much more interesting because the whole thing will pretty much...
I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that video because I was like, he has explained before that that's personally insulting to him. And he
No, you didn't do it because you know that if that was the thing, you would have been criticized of doing the same thing HASAN does. Which HASAN does. Dude, I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you a secret, guys. This is actual things you learn when talking to actual anti-Semitic. They learn never to actually call them Jews when they're calling out. Because guess what? When they do, they get in trouble. It's similar to any racism. Look, I'll say that. I'm pulling up a quote. I'm pulling a Malcolm X, Democrat quote. Malcolm X Sly Fox quote. You actually want to see a quote? Hold on, where is it? Where's the quote? Where's the quote? I know where it comes from because it was a Democrat clip. It was about Democrats. Okay, I have to pull up the video.
But being friendly and being a friend, I think, are two different things. I think there are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though, that...
And I say that because It is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf.
Okay, I just wanted to put that quote out there. But literally, that's what I think it is. I think it, like, he's trying to be friendly, but, like, we all know that he's not. And it's literally trickery. It's literally trickery. I'm sorry. But if people can point that out. But I'll tell you this. The worst type of races are the foxes. Even though that was talking about more politically support, non-support. I think it could be used in this situation. And if I make a IDUB video or HASAN, because I want to on the debate, I want to put that Malcolm X quote in the beginning. Like, I have to bleep out some of the lines. But I think it's actually a good quote to run with. Because it's like the criticism I have of HASAN, basically, he did trickery for that. He's a war porn. Like, you ever heard of poverty corn? I don't know if I'm allowed to say it or not. But basically the idea that people go in, like, people make videos so they can get money because they exploit poor people. Yeah, there's something called the reward version. And basically the same thing, but instead of that, you get unrelated news or full-on propaganda pieces for that. And that's just HASAN. And I sort of want to make a video on it because I want to put I think the Malcolm X quote is the best line to why I think HASAN is the most bad person. Because I think that quote, you use that quote, you start up the video, you have him saying that, and then you have that one line of Malcolm X saying, I think you can use that. I think you could use so many more samples, but I'm gonna
doesn't like that. You know, regardless of how true it is, I was like, I'm going to think about Ethan's feelings and not mention this. Fast forward to him reacting to my video, he's just outright calling me a fucking Nazi.
Is it a coincidence that Ian really shaved his head just before doing this video and he's holding a swastika one? I mean, we can...
I mean, dude, he said that was stupid, but also... Dude, I hate the logic these people are doing. Sorry, but there's a reason why I use something called stupidity argument. Because, dude, it's safe edgy. It's not like they didn't think of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that dumb line anybody said, it's safe edgy. Here's a counter to it. Most people would have told them that could have been viewed as offensive. If it wasn't, and it was people in there, that had a bigger issue.
Free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that? Well, this is the white
you
savior,
could support
Ian,
you could support Palestine without supporting Hamas.
Unless you're Jewish,
guys.
of course.
Just remember that.
Ethan,
Unless
people
you're
are allowed
HASAN
to shake their
fan,
head
because you
and
get
not be
perma-banned.
called anti-Semitic. I mean, if you're gonna critique his podcast or be pissed off that he personally insulted you, even that is enough to be called anti-Semitic. It's fucking crazy.
Dude.
I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword.
I'm sorry, but you did safe edgy. Just say you may have you're a dummy. And you pretty much survive. Literally. Half of the drama could be like if one side apologized to Ethan and like we took it too far. I'm telling my audience not to do this. like, I generally hate people when they don't like apologize for just things like this, and like people are telling them that this could be rappers, because it either means that their brains are not fully developed to understand empathy, which could be the case for IDUBs, even though he developed, he forgot empathy, or two, and this is even worse. And if this is the case, oh boy, we're gonna have some fun. It's that he really doesn't care about all this, and he ultimately more, or three, you have a tat. A tat I'm not allowed to repeat. Probably have the Manji symbol, but in a weird design. But that
I don't want to talk about Hasan's sword hilt, because Ethan himself basically admitted already multiple times he doesn't think any of us did that intentionally, and he would be right.
Do I think any of them actually like wanted to put a swastika in the photo? No, yeah, that's no. I don't actually think that. The chances.
Yeah, you know why? Because that good faith argument. You know what? The first thing you say, you don't say someone bad faith off of that one thing. I generally hate people who like, when they're good faith things like that, they're like, oh, see, he doesn't care. Like, dude, you didn't change anything from like if you did or not. You didn't go in and been like, well, actually, my whole criticism of what actually I was. No, most of the criticism was something like that. Put in, done.
That they did on purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not accusing them.
I picked up a random sword in Hasan's room that was laying around. That could be the end of the discussion. You don't actually need to debate Hasan about this.
That will be part of the debate, but I have my own opinion on it, because there are too many discrepancies from that and Hasan. Hasan said, wait, you said randomly picked up. He said he wasn't there, so that even more of a red flag. Because if that was the case, let's say I want to like destroy Hasan's career, why wouldn't I just turn on stream and put some bad stuff on there? Like, obviously I get canceled, but like, but I think more of it, if like, there are too many discrepancies, and also like, Hasan had been bad faith about anything that like he was. I'm not.
The sword hilt.
He left
the
it up.
Decision making.
If it was a mistake, he could have deleted it.
But I'm not going to delete the.
Yeah. So it's not a mistake, even though people are telling you. So you are anti-Semitic. I'm sorry. I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you guys a story. I did Boy Scouts. We had a all-female troop in this Boy Scout thing. They were the troop name Cougars, all female. Wasn't a good sign. They changed the name immediately when they realized the mistake. I don't remember what they changed it, but it wasn't that. And then the year after, they removed that name. Or I think they removed it, or they moved it to an all-boy troop. And they made sure to write, do not put female in that one area. That happened. They apologized. They realized that was bad, and they didn't think. And they immediately changed direction to prevent that. IDUB didn't. IDUBs. People think you are because you're not changing your ways. It's like if someone hated a certain race, and then they like realize, hey, what I'm saying it could be viewed as racist. I'm not going to change my way. Now you know that you did something wrong. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep going.
photo because that would be indulging in your weird anti-Semitic fantasies.
We can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that?
I'm done being nice to Ethan. I gave it a
You were
chance.
never nice to Ethan.
My sincerity and my
And I
empathy
think
in that last
I
video.
think I hope Choreograph fail, and I hope like Aaron Hudson company fail. Like even though he's not a part of this, and I don't want his company to fail, by the way. But the reason why I say I hope his company fail also, it then every known YouTuber that would have worked with you would have not talked to you anymore, and you're similar to Leafy. You'll be in the same situation as Leafy because you both never matured. I hope Trump get a third term, and it would all be because of IDUB and HASAN Pipe. No, I hope this is a true hope I have. I hope like JD Vance wins. Not because I support Republican, no. Because of like Hassan Piker. Like I would bet if I ever did a political campaign, you know who I would be putting on that screen? Hassan Piker. Everything hour before we're gonna watch Hassan Piker compilations. The screen clip outside my street. Like even now. Like, I think a lot of like conservative stations are calling him out finally, which is sort of bad at the guy who got kicked out of the DNC. DNC
was
remover.
real. I was even equating to him having crash out moments in the same way that Denims could have crash out moments. I think we're all capable of it, but he was using it in the video to suggest that I was making fun of his mental health.
To my good friend Ian of 8 years,
No, that part was because you said you need therapy. I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you something. That is the dumbest thing you could say that like technically the most messed up. Because like, you're not saying that in a good faith as you are. And people knew that. And people thought this would cringe. Let me. No, I'm looking for the other button. Report. I don't want this. Hold on, I'm probably fine. Do they not have it? Do I have to go up one and then immediately? I'll do that.
Really appreciate you weaponizing my mental health against me.
To make Ethan crash out. He's having a parasocial, weird crash out. People can have crash.
Dude. You have a wife and kids. And he having a less of a crash out than you. Like, I think part of the crash out is, like, here's the thing. I think good faithfully. He made a video about, if he would go and make a video, he would go and do after career clash. I'm sorry. He cared about Hassan. Okay. Why were you part of it? You immediately burned down your whole thing off of petty revenge. Like, you're literally the guy who... I'm making this joke. I'm moving a bit closer to make my one funny joke. He's the guy who goes in and he like, guys, I feel offended. I feel offended because my friend made a video about my other friend. And you know what? I'm getting all the people who call them the N-word to be in here saying that it's a crash out moment. And you know what? They can't stop me, Batman. They can't stop me. That's like literally the same thing at this. Okay, but
out moments. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help. Dude, I'm not making fun of your mental health. Every example you used was me basically saying that other people are trying to affect you. It's understandable that you're going through this right now, Ethan. We all go through this.
To characterize anything I'm doing as crashing out, that I need help, that I need to get some kind of treatment, is cruel and pathetic
Yeah.
on a level I didn't think he would ever be possible of doing.
Every fucking example that you tried to smear me with was me actually pointing to something else that could be affecting you. He even brought up the clip of me saying, if you get help. We all need help. Everyone on this planet.
No, only you need help. Like, dude, there's a conspiracy that, like, his wife, like, either he, dude, I'm saying, I think IDUB probably the guy who, I don't know. I'll say this. IDUB, if without YouTube, would definitely be, like, in the back alley or working a 9 to 5 at a McDonald's. He's the type of guy who didn't go to college, who basically could have gotten a good career if he did that. I think Ethan is the look. I don't like Ethan. That's the sad part. But it's fun. It's so much more funnier now because here's the reason. People like IDUB who do this. Guess what? You're not going up. Guess what? You want to hear the best part about all this? Guess who's gonna get canceled and guess who's gonna survive 10 years longer after all this? It won't be IDUB. It will definitely be HGH3. He ran a company, he made it successful, he could still run it after that many years. And he could go into production. I'm sorry, but here's the thing. Most content creators, if they do pure content, could never get a job outside. Because they don't have labor skills in any industry, including advertisement. And I think with Ethan, he has way more advertisement skills. He ran a successful podcast, which allows him some media skills. He ran a company, so he had business knowledge. With HGH3, you can make that argument win. And he, you, and I think there is one more I need. Cool. Okay, we're gonna keep playing this.
It needs help. I don't care how you get it. You can wander into the jungle and go on an ayahuasca trip. I don't care how you get your help or what you define as help. But if it helps you, that would be good. Because right now it doesn't seem like you're getting much help. The main criticism that I was seeing online with my video from Ethan and Hila is that I didn't mention the CPS call.
There's really just one central point that I want to make here. My good friend Ian, in his hour-long takedown, did not mention one time Child Protective Services. Not one time.
There was not even one mention of CPS.
And
Are
a
you
lot
going?
of the clips
What
he
did he
uses
not?
is us
Okay, I'm
fired
making
up.
I know what happens, but but I think people can get it. My get is he won't apologize for it. And then immediately be like, it's not my fault, it's not your fault. Boom. Like, if he apologized for that and said like, I'm sorry, it was my mistake, I would.
From the day that CPS came to us,
so like
without even explaining that at least that's the context, it's pretty cowardly.
I wonder why I wouldn't mention the CPS call. Could it be that the CPS call happened the same day that you were shit-talking me? And
maybe you should have brought that up because then you don't look like a fool and you don't get 2 of your fire removed. I'm sorry, but if you put that out there, dude, 10% of people would have understand like, hey, you're just like ultimately you should probably thought about it, but you never do. And here's the thing. I think IDUB or Nisa or both have impulse control, and I'm saying severe ones. Like stuff I used to have when I was like 3, where they think of something, and instead of having the thing being like, "Hey, let me think," they immediately say it. And I think they did that with this video and with the last one, because they probably were like, "Choreograph 2 is failing, fail." We need the HASAN train to get in. Or we need to remove one of our fighters, which will allow us to remove the second fighter. And we can add the second one for way cheaper. 100%. Probably 6k going to the next fighter.
I didn't have any chance to defend myself. You just immediately, in the same podcast, right next to each other, said, CPS call was very traumatic. And then you said, fuck Enan and Issa. And you linked those together, you kind of layered those flavors, and then Anissa and I got a bunch of harassment. We had nothing to
You got harassment because you openly supported a person, your previous editor, follow him, your wife follow him because she doesn't have impulse controls and all that. And like in 10 years, no one will buy her thing. You will pretty much be poor making content that barely anybody watches. Like, for example, hold on, let go. YouTube maximum damage. Let's go with the top one. 10k. Oh, sorry, most popular 10k. Actually, most popular though. 3 weeks ago, 18k, 7k, 42.2k, all that. We're going to your social blade, which give me an estimate of how much you makes. Sorry. I'm showing you why I'm irritated by people. I think it maximum. I like how maximum damage. It's not even on here on the first. What? But I'm looking. Okay. Max. MU. Maximum. Yeah. I have to fully type it. You're making 4k per month, which means you're making 48. And that, like, on a good day. You're making, like, this much per day. So I think, like, sorry about that.
With the CPS call.
But, dude, like, I'm just saying, like, the people want to play that, okay. Look at your analytics. You're not making money. Have fun. Have fun being poor. Because in 10 years, after every drama ends, we're going to see... Can you please go down? Oh no, look. Oh cool, I finally caught it. But I think in 10 years, we won't even hear about them. I think their career will be shot down. And it'll be all because of this. They lost Career Clap, which could have actually made them some money.
What are all these fucking comments on your Reddit saying, like, it happened because of the CPS call? I don't entirely blame your audience for getting confused, because number one, it's a fucking cult, and number two, you can't even get the timeline straight. So if anyone's watching your dumbass, their brain is also going to get scrambled.
Be friends as long as they're getting something out of it. So, again, he's not showing the context. What was the okay, I'll play this part. Did you guys ever find the context of what I was talking about here? Because I feel like I wasn't even talking about him. I could.
Yeah, but this is all live. If it were pre-recorded, people would do research. If it's live, do you think they have a whole file called research? No. Like, that's so unrealistic. Dude, like, I know a lot of things. Like, I could pull up the Malcolm X quote. Which I think is funnier to pull that up in the beginning of an HASAN video. Every time HASAN speak, you hear like the Malcolm. Talking about the slide versus the open.
Wrong. I just don't remember ever saying like. If
wait,
I did
dude,
say that,
I thought you were talking about them.
I'll wait until after.
About Anissa and Ian in that clip.
That's the same clip of
It's all the
when
part of the same
CPS was
clip.
called.
Yeah.
Same clip.
It's part of the same conversation.
You completely wiped your brain of what happened during the CPS stream. That's not my fucking fault. That's no one else's fault but yours.
Dude, or if like they weren't thinking. I'm sorry, but people normally don't catch things about that. But also, dude, just fucking apologize. I don't know what to tell him. Like, dude, I'm gonna tell him as someone who understands a lot more. As a college student. No, I'm not even doing academically. I just as a human. Dude, just apologize, move on, and never talk to any of these people again. I'm sorry, but you lost respect, you lost respect, and you lost IDUB respect. Like this is my guess afterwards. I think in like 10 I don't want Earthworm again. Because I think after everything that happens, I think we're going to see like a company. I'll say this. I think in 10. I think in 10 years. Wait, did I get book? I got. Oh no. Sorry, I have to do something. We just got something I actually needed. But no, I'll say this. I think in 10, like, ultimately all that, I think the most reasonable thing he should have done is to apologize, said, I did not know. And immediately say, look how dumb. Like, privately talk to him, basically be like, I had no idea this was happening, all that. Before the first one. But now pretty much, his career dead. And I think the only thing is, after all this, we don't talk about him for a year. We don't watch him. Like, immediately after this, you know what I'm doing? I'm going not press the dislike. I'm pressing not interested. Because that will remove him from my feed. And if you really want to do damage, you do that. Don't unlike. Because that still give him views.
All I wanted for you to do was say the bare minimum of like, hey, this is fucked up. This is not true about CPS, whatever. Like the bare minimum. It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them out.
This is what I was talking about. You cannot have something terrible happen, be like, yes, let's make some content, and then shit talk your friends of 8 years.
I'm so fired up, I don't even know what to do with myself, which is why I'm crying.
I can't.
Dude. It's a good state to be in life.
That's that. You kind of spitting.
And
I think you should not make a video on CPS call. Merely hide the fact that there was that, which could have gave valuable information to people who didn't. You snarking point. You people who ultimately were using support, who gained support from bad empanada. And then immediately say you're a friend. When the bare minimum you could have just said was not even get involved. Or say, hey, I'm sorry about what happened. And I told my wife I can't do anything. But no.
And a lot of the clips he
too
uses
unrealistic.
is us fired up from the day that TPS came to us.
For anyone confused about the timeline, Ethan was talking shit about...
He forgot one on here. There was a Frytonic tweet on the 5th also, which was bad. So right here, there were tweets about the CPS, and this is when Ethan's girlfriend, wife, Anicia, liked it.
About us on his Instagram before any CPS shit. He was also talking.
Yeah, your friend was liking tweets, and ultimately,
talking shit about us on his podcast before any CPS visit. On March 7th, CPS visits.
Yeah.
Ethan and Hila, and that same day they decide, let's do our podcast.
But
and let's
you're
have
white.
The topic be the CPS visit and how distraught
every
we
second,
are about that.
I think we should
Upgrade
permaban.
Google Fiber and pay one simple bill every month.
What about extra fees like
I
inflation?
think
Taken care of.
I don't
And
care
then
about
right
that.
next to that,
I don't care
right
about
after it,
Hasan.
You guys talk about
I don't care about
me and Anissa. But you don't just talk about us. You shit talk us, and you imply that we're friends with people who are doing this, who are the ones who are harassing you.
But you said you were. You said that you're a friend with Denim. And Denim's is one of the people who did bad empanada. How would you defend that? How would you defend that? Man, you people. I can't wait for the big Twitch ban that coming up. The Twitch purge. By the way, if you don't know what's happening, and I think Technical, Hasan, and all of them are going to get banned in a big Twitch purge. Because I think, there's I don't know if they're true. But their rumor, I did my theory. I think Twitch will start perma banning everybody in the conflict. So, besides Asmongold. And the only reason because he never actually did anything bad. And XQC probably. But I think Frogan, Denims, Mike from PA, Hasan Piker permaban. Or at least all of them beside Hasan are going to get permaban. And sort of the reason is because of the call to action. Because right now, there are rumors that, and it is politically, Amazon may be getting targeted by the Trump administration due to Twitch. You gotta figure out why, guys. But I think that's probably gonna happen. Because, like, you have someone like, let's say, Elon, who is in the online sphere, who know about Twitch a while ago, and he probably brought it up. And most likely, we're going to see the funny happen. Okay, I got 10 more levels.
Do you have evidence that H3 Snark called CPS on you?
Did I say that?
Doesn't matter.
Did I say that?
Dude. The original claim was they did that. Ban and Panada did that. You know why people are laying no to? Because Ban and Panada is someone who openly promoted that. Cool. I have 80 mil. And then I got that. Oh, why? Oh, it's 200. No, not you. Not you. Yeah, I'm gonna go fishing. I need to, like... No. But this is the one issue I have. It's just, this is dumb. This is dumb.
Wait, what's the...
I said
So
they're
who called
primary responsible for
CPS?
harassing me.
Who called CPS?
What the fuck? So, I don't know.
To be honest,
It's anonymous. it's anonymous, but the big thing is what they were saying, because these people don't listen, guys. These people don't listen to anything these people say. And this is what I kind of want someone to answer. Then why were they saying it was true? I'm sorry,
proud that I didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Neela's defense, because when you look into the story, it actually looks a lot shittier for Ethan and Neela.
How?
And I do mean that literally. There was this H3 stream where Ethan was dumping as per usual. He was talking about his own health. He was talking about his caca breath, his dog having diarrhea, his dog having giardia.
Olive has giardia. It's a bacterial infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea.
His child running around putting things in their mouth.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age.
You know what the one benefit of all this is? IDUB cannot travel outside the United States. The only benefit to this, by the way. If you're wondering why, he legally cannot travel outside the United States because of Nicia OnlyFans. Like, she can't leave the United States. Or because of laws. Only benefit to society.
He has giardia.
The whole family possibly having giardia.
Oh,
and now Ela has giardia.
Shut. For real?
By the way, if you want to max some damage, you should, in good faith, report her to the IRS. Like, as a joke, as a legal joke, you should report HASAN to the IRS and see if he pays taxes. Like, if he doesn't pay, like, the amount of taxes he get, oh boy.
Now, I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Oh my god.
What can I do to not get it from you?
I'm trying to...
Because I'm not trying to get
No, it's extremely ridiculous to get. You have to ingest my poop.
Talking about the viscosity of his child's shit.
And meanwhile, he is covered in viscous, low viscosity diarrhea.
He mentioned diarrhea a lot.
Crazy diarrheas, like in the middle of the night. All the time he's having these crazy diarrheas. You wash your hands as best you can, but these are really nasty diarrheas. And then extremely foul-smelling diarrheas.
Yeah, would turn out to be
of course,
fake.
Ethan, having made so many enemies over the years, other people react to his content. And when other people see that he's talking about...
No, the big thing was Bad and Panada, who have been known to do that. Say his name. Why you don't want to say his name? Oh, because he pretty much does that. Oh, why HASAN watching him? Oh, because he, as he said, good for Palestinians. But guess what? He never helps them. I'm sorry, they're different watching him than watching a thing on HASAN. And at this end, I'm going to say this. This is a big part about the whole thing, big counter to this. You know how you get the guy to be gone? You don't watch them. You call them out. Like, behind shadows. Made one video. Every drama person talked about it. They started crashing out. Ethan Klein, crashing out. No, Ethan Klein not crashing out. IDUBs. Ian. I bet Ian. No, Ethan Klein not crashing out. Like, actual reasonable complaints. And this is like the first time this has been used. And this is sort of scummy. Like, this is something that if someone used on a different ethnicity, it would have been big. Just going to say that. And my guess is, after all this, we are going to have Ethan Klein not be canceled.
About his children getting giardia from dog poop.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
I mean, here's the other thing. Here's the thing. Like, is it bad parent? No, not like that. If, like, the dog have diarrhea, you have to, like, disinfect that area. Like, this is something I think more people should be aware of. Bacteria stays even after you pick it up. You have to disinfect the air spot. Most people don't do that. And if he like actually worried, and he is, and he like actually worried about that, he took him to the doctor, took the dog to the vet, and it actually worried. I think that's not bad parenting. It's not like their house is super dirty and they're like going in being like, well, my house is dirty. I think after all this, I think Ethan Klein wins this whole thing. Because I'll just say that. I'll just say that. And this is a true statement I'm about to say. Most people who are canceling Ethan right now are already losing. Like HASAN, by the way, the big loss for him is he cannot work in the political sphere anymore. And I don't mean like, oh, it because like all that. No, I mean he can't work because guess what happened? He got canceled so badly that 100% Bernie probably won't talk to him, and he will be a red ship.
People are quite reasonably concerned. And so, yes, anyone who's seeing that content might be concerned enough to call CPS, including Ethan's own chat, which, by the way, is not a measly number. It's about 26,000 at the time of this stream. So there are 26,000 people listening to Ethan go into great detail over 7 or 8 minutes about diarrhea.
Dude, stop doing that. Like, dude, I can't wait for the IRS report to come in for Anissa, and she have to pay like $75 million of revenue of that. Remember when the IRS thing came? Oh wow, Ethan defended you. I hope like Choreograph 3 and it turned out you guys were siphoning money. Yeah, I think that cool.
Viscosity of diarrhea, his child having giardia, him and his whole family having giardia. They're calling it the poop house. Now what Ethan does, instead of taking any responsibility for sharing too much on his live stream, is that he decides to attack specific creators like Denims and say she was the source of the CPS call because her chat was reacting to Ethan and saying, wow, this is
reacting to Bad Empanada. Watch it. It's gonna be Bad Empanada, not Ethan. Watch. Watch.
Is on her platform right now advocating for our children to be forcibly removed from us by
why did he do that?
Child Protective Services.
What? I do not and will not ever condemn.
Children to be forcibly removed from us by Child Protective Services.
The problem with this CPS thing is that Ethan has proven to be a manipulative piece of shit. So when he calls on me to defend him, what the fuck am I meant to do?
I've been to his house. It pretty clean. And also, I condemn this one thing. But here's the reason why he didn't, by the way. Because he want Ethan Klein. The plan was probably to have HASAN in there so HASAN could promote the event so they can get the snarks, the little HASAN babies who will further later to your event. So don't even give me that.
I don't trust you, and I'm glad I didn't trust you because in your video defending
but I thought you were friends. If you're not friend with trust, then you are not friends. I'm sorry, but that's how it works in reality. So you didn't have trust then or back then. That's the important thing. And I think if this ever happens, I think this guy like literally the reason why a lot of people grew up. And you hate to see it. You hate to see your hero fall. But I think like the only reason why you survived it is because the YouTube a while back then. Nothing
yourself.
else.
You used a video that takes context from
Wait.
like 3 different places and combines them to make it seem like someone is coordinating an attack on you.
Love made a good point. You said, is this every comment? I believe this is a live feed of the chat. This isn't edited.
What about the top right? I thought these were
No, it's
selected.
this, I think when you full screen it. No, this is an edit. It's a cutout.
Yeah. I mean, that actually sort of reasonable to do that if you've never been on Twitch. By the way, go on Instagram, look up any Twitch clip. There's some that they put under the chat. People get... So don't... I hate the people that are like, oh, look at it. Like, yeah, he said one time because he doesn't know the thing. He probably never edited that part. And you guys are taking it back for faith. Also,
Out of the full chat. It's just enlarged.
Oh,
there,
really?
Also,
over the screen. Yeah.
I think...
They're different, I think.
Yeah.
It's not time. It's not time.
Fault this... Guardian, my favorite. No, wait. Billionaire cake.
I'm the same way.
Yes, it actually is possible to eat healthy and still have a life.
Factor has made the biggest difference in how...
But it sounds like based on this clip, you knew that it was bullshit, and you just went with it anyway. Ethan Klein uses this very deceptively edited video that is just like doing this smooth scroll to make it seem like that's all of Denham's chat.
If you couldn't tell that, that's pretty sad. Like, I kind of figured out it would edit it the first time I watched it. And you know how I know it would? I knew it was because he didn't, because you saw her chat in the corner. If I were hiding that, I would crop the top bar out and then put the fake chat.
But that's not what it is. And then when he's called out on it, he hides it. He moves his window over the real chat.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be...
Okay, what play? Best spot. Would this be a good spot? Oh, it's covering the words, including here. Here? Oh, no, you can't because you want the full body reaction. Here. Here? Where it's the only spot that I clear without anything.
Be very severe and deadly to small children.
Omission of aggression, child abuse, child survey, hit child H guy. All right here.
I mean, much like many other
Yeah,
illnesses.
yeah, you see it right there. Like,
It's very, very, very dangerous.
Now pay attention.
Ban empanada. Ooh.
To
her
doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit, and he has kids, his kids like.
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some fucking responsibility. It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anise and I to make a statement when Denham's herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not condone calling CPS.
So we're talking about CPS. 1, I don't condone.
No. You said they won't remember, and people got mad off that.
2, I've never condoned it, and you will not be able to find a
10
clip
years,
of
guys.
me
You'll remember
saying,
10 years.
yes,
They're
we
gone.
should do this because it doesn't exist. I've literally given Ethan Klein credit on multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
Part of my criticisms of Ethan initially was the openness. I think it's a problem that you were that open, Ethan.
Well, you know I'm very open about everything.
You run a podcast and you're not open. Also, I don't...
Everything is part of how I wanted to conduct myself
I want
and
to
how I
peer
wanted
react.
to relate to the audience is to be open as possible about
You know
every
what?
fucking thing in my life.
It is not strictly a benefit to be as open as possible on your podcast.
Ethan was just sharing his thoughts, what we were thinking, we were speculating.
Sonny's crawling around, he's putting everything in his mouth, he's at that age, he has giardia.
We were speculating.
And it turned out he didn't.
And now, Ela has giardia.
Shut.
Be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
Really? How many siblings do you have? I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will
Yeah, by all means,
compromise
keep
your
talking
privacy.
about it.
On top of Ethan characterizing me and my wife as anti-Semitic, he also takes a dig at my tattoos.
Bro, you literally look like a fucking free tattoo pack that you get for 25 cents from a windy thing, bro. Like literally my kids have cooler fucking tattoos from Chuck E. Cheese. Bro looks like he just went to the menu and was like, I'll take that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one.
I have quite a few options here. I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit.
Yeah, but that hit wife. And when was this?
Show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste.
Do you got a tattoo to surprise wife? This was 3 hours ago when he made the video. I wonder why this is.
But great execution subreddit, which is not a good thing. I mean, it might be a good thing for the artists that you work with because that means that they did a good job from a technical standpoint, but it's sort of a failure in every other aspect, particularly the decision-making aspect. If you want to go tattoo for tattoo, Ethan, we can do that. You want to keep it to other things? We can. I'll give you that option. Ethan also talks about the potential CTE that I might have after boxing.
Yes.
Ethan, your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled from getting punched in the face too many times because you're.
Sorry, that was
you
good. That
don't
was good.
understand the situation. Some people are saying the CTE is starting to take effect. I guess that would be comforting if there was some explanation at least.
Any amount of CTE that I may have endured after doing 2 boxing matches, I'm going to say is preferred over having to share the load of doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife.
Yeah, what if we do both do them? We'll both do 25 at once.
25 each?
Oh my goodness.
No. Poker play go.
Great form.
That
really
looked
nice.
like a event.
Also, why are you talking about CTE at all? Like, you've continually illustrated that you can't keep track of anything.
It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them out.
He can't even keep straight who attacked who first. He thinks
Dude,
that our
no one cares. I'm sorry.
podcast
No one
where
care
we're
about this.
expressing
This is
sympathy
like
for him and Eli
this is like
was the
unemployed
impetus for him
drama.
talking shit about us.
We're in
I'd
like
much
5
prefer
layer deep
boxing-induced
of
CTE
unemployment.
than harassment-induced CTE. Ethan acts
I
like we're such
think
great friends and that like he shared such intimate moments with me, but it's all horseshit. He's lying. Like the whole thing is a fucking lie. He's manipulating.
But you
his
said you were
audience. We
friends.
did not have a close relationship.
But you said you were your friend. Were you lying? At this point,
You guys were buddies for a long
He
time.
texted me
I
like
think
one time, like, "Hey, dude, we should talk this out," and I was like, "I don't feel like having this conversation right now." That's it. So he
the
kept
pullback.
trying to get me on the
but
phone.
dude, you said he was your friend, so you're lying. And at most, he probably expected you to say something because your editor edited what your wife did. I think at this point, I think I want to make a vid. I have an idea for a video called like the TLDR of the how to know when someone can't debate, or how to know when someone won a debate, and I think the
or
debate.
text with me, and I told him, dude, honestly, I don't feel like having this conversation right now.
Okay.
Fair, right? I just didn't want to do it. Okay?
Just in that particular moment,
And then
or
he-
like at all?
Well, it turns out I didn't want to talk to him at all.
Okay.
If the relationship was that close, you would have
That-
talked to me on the phone. You would
Oh
have
my
shit
god. See, I'm starting to get a headache. Not because of this. Not because of Minecraft. I could just ride 2 hours on this. But this is so much super manipulative. Like, my girlfriend got mad. Like, dude, you made a video about that. You know what? I would have posted being like that and move on. And immediately, like, apologize later on. But no, you step your thing into a controversial issue. Okay, wait, I'm not going to do good faith. You jump into a controversial issue with no say from your company. Your company took a hit where they may not even be able to. You got scot-free, probably got paid for it. And you still think you're a good guy. Yeah, okay. No, I hope the company, I hope good thing run, their company dies and they sue you and you lose everything. Because like at the very end, I think like Aaron is probably a smart business owner and he probably told you guys not to post that. Like I make fun of him because he made like a couple other events. But 100%, I think he let you rank Choreograph 2. He saw that. He probably would try and keep you on a leash. You guys did that. You didn't like that. They probably added in a new contract because they're like, oh, we have to follow. You guys did this. Which, by the way, for people who never actually ran an event, I'll tell you, you don't be controversial like that. You pick your battles, how you pick anything else. And if you could not even do that, you have failed everything. And in 10 years, when the OF money runs out, because it will, because here's the thing. They're like one for Enchanted, right? I think it's Liam. No, I think it's you. I think it's Old Man Gary, he'd be too expensive. But I would bet, like, after all this, they can't make money.
Talk to me, you would be curious where my brain was at and where I was coming from. There's this moment in the content cop where I'm trying to give an example of the cycle of harassment. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of... Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
Are you okay?
Ethan and Eli act like they have no idea what I'm talking about here. So, I mean, maybe they don't. It's a very obvious and easy to digest point. That's why I made it that way. I'm going to explain it here so everyone on the internet understands.
Okay, explain.
When you have a podcast where you are constantly emotionally dumping and saying things just off the top of
like
your
maximum
head,
damage.
You're attacking other people randomly. Maybe
Like
from
maximum
your
damage.
perspective, it's not attacking. Maybe you're just commenting on someone else's situation.
He's got to be one of the most visually repulsive people. FaZe Banks, like, in my opinion...
Never watch Maximum Damage.
Yeah. He's somewhat repulsive to look at.
And be
pedophile. Pirate Software was like weird about it. It's like, look at my old voice, it's so lame. What an obnoxious loser. She goes, I can't believe these people are so obnoxious. And he looks like an idiot who's obsessed with me, dude.
But what happens when other people comment on your situation? It doesn't feel too good, does it?
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag's.
Because you were hiding the CPS. I'm sorry, but you could make a defense video. You could say, hey, I didn't like that. This is what happened. Boom. Look, we should have done this. All that. You didn't. You went full aggressive. Bad faith.
Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
$20 Cannon Owen would give him more.
Forth I'm describing.
And she
you might have thought
anti-Semitic.
we were just saying that Ian and Anissa are bad friends. Well, guess what? We didn't take it that way.
Our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be.
cringe.
You never will be.
I'm sorry.
What we took it as is Ethan
I'm
and
not
Eli
watching
shit-talking
another.
us. They just
I'm not watching another IDUB thing, including this drama. I'm going to watch Nick DiOrio talk about this, and I will never talk about. I think commentary community should just ignore him. Like Frogan, ignore him, and then he goes away. Because guess what? Actually, Frogan going to be gone in about a week, so my bad. Because at 100%, I think Technical going to go and Frogan and like them, and then they're going to be like, you all effed up, and they will move to YouTube, and then for Kick will be Frogan, but Frogan finally getting a job, guys.
Implied that we are okay with people using CPS as harassment, and now all of their fans are brigading us. So I am going to respond in kind and make a content cop. So yes, that is what the cycle of harassment looks like.
Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
How about you fucking Nazis? How about that?
You might think that all of the harassment you're getting has everything to do with your politics and your idea of Israel-Palestine, but a lot of my gripes were centered around you dragging me into your shit. You know, you knew that you were...
Then bring that up privately and say, I apologize. But you... I hate people like that. I hate people like IDUBs. Dude, literally, apologizing privately probably would have saved you. And you could have gotten people off of that, doing that. But you didn't. And then you are crying, baby. You're being a baby. Because guess what happened? You couldn't get the milk. Get the milky.
Going through a lot, and you were saying, I'm hurting, I'm now going to make them hurt because they're not putting their head on the chopping block. Fuck you, you're a piece of shit. I'm sure there's anti-Semitic people that are attacking you guys, but they're not me, they're not Anissa. It's...
Dude, it was literally because of like, you could have effing apologized 50 times by now. I'm sorry, but if you can't apologize, and you made a content cop, instead of apologizing, you have failed 50 times. You have failed your business 50 times. As someone who understands college life, no, I'm going to bring up how they relate to college. You ever have or high school, you have that one guy who get butthurt about everything. You know, like group project, he yelling, he like go in, he like, you're being mean. And then he like this thing that was sort of offensive to you. Outside, you said, hey, I don't like that. And then he immediately like started yelling that you are being a dick. That IDUBs. Him bringing that up in a buried thing where you could apologize. But instead you didn't, you doubled down on this. That's what it is at the very end.
It's not HASAN, it's not all of these other creators that you're attacking. You're not the biggest victim on the internet, Ethan. Other people can experience a horrible fucking time. And guess what? They're not getting this other benefit, which is 26,000 viewers. You're getting a lot of money and a lot of content, a lot of things that you care about from these beefs and from this harassment. There are a lot of people that you've just bullied, and they have nothing to gain out of it. Frogan isn't making a bag from this. She's not getting content out of this.
Yeah, because
you're attacking her in relentless ways and endorsing so much worse.
Yeah, because guess what? She doesn't make money. She's a bad streamer, guys. She's just bad at streaming. Like, she's just a bad streamer, and that, like, a lot of criticism. She's been pretty much hurt because, like, she's a HASAN orbiter who's pretty much a Muslim. Who pretty much... Oh, and I'm not even gonna say, like, she pretty much that. But, like, most people know the reason why she getting heavily after her. Because, like, she one of HASAN's good ones. And then get what happened? Guess what happened, guys? What do you mean I be mean? That happened. And then people call them out. That what happened. And then, oop, no.
Harassment than what even you send her way.
The shit he said and posted about Frogan over the past years is like insanely nasty shit.
Yeah.
Worse than anyone I've seen. If this is true, absolutely mind-blowing, insane shit.
Hold on, it's not worse than anything you've seen. How could it be worse than anything you've seen?
Literally, no. I guess
he was
not.
very nasty.
Well, I'm just saying, people like fucking want to like get lay down and fucking like.
I'm talking about specifically against Frogan.
But like he called her fat, right, and ugly, which is horrifically mean. I get called a fucking baby killer.
I was talking specifically about
That's way
Frogan.
worse than being called fat and ugly, in my opinion.
Also, on top of Ethan and Neela constantly victimizing.
I mean, that's fair, but also the other thing, if Frogan said she wasn't offended by that, and it would also be because of her comment about the veteran, which he has, which then called him bald, and actually said like a lot more personal attacks against him. So he doesn't like them because of that. So don't even say that, because at the end, in 10 years, Frogan basically will be gone too. A lot of these people, here's the thing, in about a week, all of them will be gone. But if the techno ban, if it's a thing I think of, because I want to double check. I'm checking on here because I want to be I don't care on. Yeah, okay. Doesn't look good for Amazon. I'll just say that.
Himself. I did notice that as soon as we didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Neela's defense, Ethan took that to heart and he started to make that.
Didn't your wife like a thing?
Instead of just sucking it up and taking on himself, he decided to imply that Lena is going to have a problem with that.
A lot of this has ramifications for the crew. The way that they have it set up is basically, if Lena were to drop out, she would lose, like, she would have to pay back like $25,000 or something like insane. And besides that, which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out, she's been working really hard. And just because I'm having an issue with what's going on here,
you bringing up Lena dropping out of the fight,
that would be for watching the content count, by the way. So
you publicly
same day.
Showing to your fans like, I don't approve of this. You were saying this shit before the content copy even came out.
which I told her I would cover if she
By
wanted.
how many days? How many days? H3 content cop react. What go? What is it? Talking about that.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to a special episode.
Not that. Wait, we need the context. Why? Sorry, I don't like how he's
to drop out.
But now you are saying that you didn't have a problem with any of it until I made the video.
I was totally
We
on board
don't
until
know
the organizer put out a video calling me.
Unless it's talking about the contract itself. That's the only way of like. Because that could have been Choreograph 2 drama. I have no idea, and if it is Choreograph 2, that actually is a good valid point to make, that like we don't know. I don't want to keep the thing, but I'll give him that.
Psychopath for harassing his friend.
Obviously, Ethan and Neela will victimize themselves every chance they get, but when they have the chance to victimize someone else who's on their crew, they'll also do that.
You already forced Lena into this.
Didn't you give her a panic attack? Sorry, if he would actually victimizing, he would have like fired them without having them pay, and made sure to do that. He paid for it. You made it so awkward for them that it basically became a.
It's horrible.
Oh no, I'll say that because there's no good point. Every time you hear one of them say, "Oh, their work, you guys could do better," no, it's because they want to fuck Ethan. It's because genuinely, like when you had the Frogan thing, that was a strat they were doing. I'm sorry, but when you have you saying that, putting that, you literally gave her a panic attack. And I think that is actually something to point out as important, but these people don't because they're
situation. And again, you forced this situation on her.
Why would I do such a thing to Lena? Dude, you have...
Dude, it was your content cop doing the thing after you made the content cop. You could have done it after. Even Kind said he would go and do his after. Then, would be nice. You immediately... Okay, let's say you had to do it. Okay. Then, Kurtcat did their post about Anise. With that, which made it an awkward situation even more because let's say she wanted to drop out after the original video. Now it became awkward. Now it became, oh, I don't know what to do. You also, with that, you know the contract, it could financially ruin her in 3 months. You didn't make a thing saying, hey, that. We also know that, Claire, we're not getting paid fairly. So, I don't know what to say.
Have as much agency as I do. You didn't have to badmouth me on your podcast. That was a choice that you made.
Womp.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
Oh, the organizers of this event are not jumping to my defense? All right, well, maybe instead of shit-talking them, maybe I should zip it.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Then you should have dropped her off and then she could have kept the money. But you made it awkward and they paid for it. Just saying. I'm happy Aaron... I'm actually happy Aaron running it. If he runs it actually somewhat professionally, we would have no issue. But unfortunately, but people are not, and it's going to be a dead waste, and I think he should just cancel and say, like, he's selling it. I will buy it.
Already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on her. By the way, IDUBs, Lena's fucking having a panic attack.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
But you're just lobbing it to me and Anissa. I'm lobbing it back.
Oh my god. You know why? You made a content cop about her boss. Guess what? You made a content cop about her boss. I don't know what to say. You have to either be mentally incapable of thought or bad faith. And at this point, like, I saw Nick do it. Let me be clear on this. I saw his reaction saying that you're just dumb. No, I think you're malicious. And at this point, there are ways, like, I don't know what to say. You're lucky.
To you. You're the one who brought it up. If you lob it back to me and you say, well, I didn't have your back publicly.
You bully her fucking boss. Hold on. No, let me be clear. You do that for anybody. They will have a panic attack because now they have to pick sides. And if it's something they were hard at, you basically are telling her to F herself. So don't play that. Oh, but if like, yeah, he paying her salary. If that's the worst thing that could happen, and you have some guy, something she wanted to do, make a video about her boss in a negative light and false information, and ultimately don't want to get booed and all that from people like your audience, like at the end, I hope there's so many ways you can destroy Ethan IDUB career. Like literally, he already did 5 times, and the only thing left in Anissa, which you could probably find online for free. You are a pirate, yo ho. Okay, well keep.
I'm gonna lob it back and say you're being irresponsible on your podcast, and you're not taking any accountability.
By the way,
for the shit you're putting
just
out
do.
online.
You're not
I think
interested.
that's gonna do it for this video. There's a lot more that I can share, but I'll save that for the future. And in closing, I will reiterate so that there's no ambiguity about it. Anissa and I are no longer involved in Creator Clash. We're stepping down completely.
I don't care.
We hope that the event is a massive success
No,
this
it won't.
year. We hope that all the
It will
fighters
be because
get what they wanted out of it.
This is what I think will happen. It will fail, and I hope Aaron sues you, because there should be a contract in the contract that you sign, basically making you guys have a PR team. You guys didn't follow through. He can sue you, take all the money that you guys still made from it, because you guys were getting a paycheck, a contract-based check. By the way, that's how you win these. By the way, you have to go dark.
I'm sorry that I'm such a fucking nasty person who just wants to roll around in the shit. I'll put the link to Creator Clash down in the description.
I don't
if you
care.
want to support them in their mission to get creators to fight and raise money for charity, you can do that down there. I will be doing that on my own, and I hope you guys have a good time. Also, for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you to click the like button on this video. Not so it goes in your algorithm or anything, just specifically so that we can add a counter narrative, or I can get an idea of how much astroturfing is out there, because I know that a lot of these fuckers, they love.
Yeah, but we'll blame Bernie. No, blame Biden, because like they had to remove it because he was getting a lot of dislikes. I think YouTube need to reinstate the dislike button, because it creates so much astroturfing, and I think generally it's a good thing to get public opinion, because right now they could just fly at fake numbers.
Their dislike button extensions, and I saw that shit and I was like, what the fuck, these are all like fabricated numbers. The like dislike ratio was like 80-20 on my video, and then they tried to create a narrative of like, no, people actually hate this content cop, guys. It's actually so much worse. Like, bitch, like, people were more upset with like my wife being on OnlyFans. You're not gonna convince the internet.
Yeah, but you're not showing it.
Like extension.
It's blatantly and obviously fucking disingenuous. This shit blew my fucking mind. Like, this is fucking insane. And like, dangerous. He is going out of his way to slander you as a neo-Nazi. Like, that can get you hurt.
I'm not dealing with that. Yeah, I'm not watching that 4 hour from you. Not interested. Tell me why. I could do something funny with this. Yeah, I don't like the video. Where is it? Sorry, I have to do, before I forget. But I want to, can I watch it, okay, but okay, let's go refresh one time.
I switched from due dates to due dates, and it made me go from weeks behind to weeks ahead of my deadlines. You
I
see,
made switch. I only have 4 minutes. I'll do that, then switch to intro. Don't care.
Hello.
It's
Piker.
That's what I'm doing as well. All right. Wait, hold on. Oh, are you gonna show me all the time as well on the Zoom call?
Here, I can fix that. 1 second. Let me just set it to Ethan's
Yeah.
output here.
If you want.
There you go.
If you want, just show like not just Ethan, but yourself as well. If you're gonna talk, like that's fine.
Hey,
I don't know if it's gonna be
Hasan,
too difficult.
leave the production notes to my team. You can.
Well, I mean-
I think that's actually a good thing Ethan did. It mainly set up that Ethan empowered, but also makes it where he can't do jump-ins. Basically, what he was trying to do to get his reactions for clips, and I think it was smart for Ethan not to do that.
Switch your show how you like.
Well, you know, they were my coworkers as well, Ethan.
Well, it's been a
for 2
while, my
years.
friends, and guess
Yeah, I
what?
know.
They are
Yeah,
not
and
now.
you can kind of.
So let's start. I mean, so you did this content cop, right? And
Yeah, I'll say this. I think, like, even in a lot of aggressive, right? I'll wait 3 minutes so I can at least. So I can at least watch this. Cool. Oh, it's an artwork. I think like he being aggressive because I think he had to, and not because like but I think he mad, and I think you're going to see a lot of it.
And I mean, did that go how you expected? It didn't seem to hit
Wait,
very hard.
Before we get started, can I lay some like ground rules so we can have like a productive conversation?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, I wanted to come on to make this as issue specific as possible, but yes, you have grievances with me, and of course, I think they're valid to address.
Okay. Good.
Of course, we'll talk about that. Hopefully, I'll be able to address some counterpoints as well, if you will allow me in that process.
Absolutely.
But before we get started on anything, I would like to potentially talk about definitions so we can have like an established definition on a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about. Is that okay with you?
I mean, it depends how many definitions you got. What do you want to define? I don't want to get bogged down in this, so let's
I'm also experiencing audio issues on my end, so hold on one second.
No worries. No worries.
Okay. All right, so...
Oh, they're doing on Zoom. This is important. Why? One of the reasons is how the quickness. So, for example, you sort of like want to do it on Zoom, weirdly enough, and not Discord, mainly because in more of a closed loop. So, let's say what open, it prevents Destiny from joining or someone.
Fine with that.
I mean, up to a point, yeah.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to get bogged down in a conversation.
It's not like a gotcha.
Go ahead, start. No, I know you're not.
Okay,
I just want to get going.
All right. So first and foremost, I think we should define what Zionism is and what you mean by Zionism and what I mean by Zionism.
Zionism is the belief that Jews should have their own homeland in the historic, Palestine area. That's it.
Okay. All right. So.
Okay, I can kind of explain why he's doing that. And this is sort of a trap. It's a weird trap. I have to make it clear how the trap works. Okay, and then we're not doing Minecraft. I'm playing Leaf Blower. I'm putting on Leaf Blower Simulator while doing this. But sort of the trap is he wants to basically go in and basically get his definition in. Because if he can put his own definition, it's way hard to win. Like, to basically put in, like, ways around it. It's sort of like, it's sort of scummy, but not really scummy. And it's, what it kind of does, it hides the fact of it. It's sort of something you don't want people doing because what it could, like, lead up to. So a lot of people don't do that. But also considered very scummy in that book.
That Zionism is a religious ethno-supremacist ideology that is...
Wait. I have Leaf Blower Simulator on. We get to look at this. I'll put that on.
That revolves around the exterminationist policies of removing the indigenous population that lived in...
Let me put this on scene for 1 second. In the void. I'm switching this on to like one okay. Okay, look up.
As you said.
But basically the trap is you want to get their own definition because if you can do that, it makes it more powerful.
Like Palestine. As long as they are not Jews, because it's a religious, ethno-religious supremacist ideology. I think that this is a disagreement that you and I have.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. If you want to add that, like the genesis of Zionism included, you know, the displacement and you know, the ravaging of the culture that existed there, then
yeah. But what's smart of even to do this also. Hold on. I'm pulling my thing because I'm trying to pull up stuff while this is going on. But I think it would a good safety net to do that. And I think like oh no. Hassan Piker made it on Fox News. The thing Into the Manosphere. Dem drive into male targeted podcast internet show. They got Hassan Piker there, which, oof, you don't want that. Super degenerate.
Agree with you. I mean, I don't think that the establishment of Israel was like a good thing. I mean, it was tragic and a lot of bad things happened. But let me ask you.
Are you looking for a new fence or gate for your home or property? Then now is the time to get a full quote.
No.
Sir. Okay. How was filming that content? I just have to know what you felt, what you were thinking as they were doing the Fortnite L behind you.
We'll get to that. We'll get to
that.
No.
No. We're here. I don't want to talk about definitions. You got your Zionism, and let's do the...
Okay. Oh, okay.
On. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was fine.
Did you not?
I've participated in other YouTube videos as well in the past.
No, but that Fortnite L dancing.
Some of them feature sketches.
I noticed you weren't in the other shots. Why was that?
I think I was being interviewed.
Oh, really?
By
Who was
a
interviewing
journalist while that was happening.
Really?
I don't remember.
Really? Oh, that's convenient. I think you were embarrassed, frankly. You were absent from every other shot. I think you saw him doing that. I think you saw him doing that Fortnite dance, and you said, "I got to get out of this." And by the way,
No,
I'm giving you credit for that.
I mean, Ethan, you're a comedian. You know, you participated in some sketches. You know, it happens.
I mean, shit. Yeah.
Really, you're one of your most famous sketches you in a fucking diaper. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, we've done funny things.
Okay, you know what? Let's not debate the merit of our comedy. You're right. I'm very happy, and so are you.
Okay,
By the way, you believe that the likes
fine.
were botted on that?
What?
You had said you thought the likes were botted on the content cop.
If I did it earlier.
What? The likes were botted on the content cop?
The dislikes were botted. The dislikes, sorry. Yeah, you said it was brigaded and was botted. And it was unnatural, the dislikes on the video.
I don't really care about this. I don't know. I mean,
I'm asking.
I don't recall saying this, but I don't
by the
know
way,
why this is
I'll explain the win condition for both, if people are wondering. Ethan win condition is to make himself survive, which means he cannot be overwhelmed. And to get things that are bad. Right now, here's the thing. Ethan win condition not to get liberals to win. To get like the boomer conservatives, to get people who are somewhat conservative, and Fox. Like, Fox is talking about HASAN, and guess what? HASAN going to pretty much not be able to see Bernie.
point of contention. All right, so you asked that question. Let's get back to some other definitions.
Hold on, let me finish, and then you can.
By the way, he wanted to do definition, so he have a stronger build.
Your definition.
Okay.
Do you think it was?
Well, it's not my definition. I want to hear your definition.
That's fine. I'll answer it how you like.
I hope you know that, like, you know, I don't know if you know this, but I didn't publish the content cop. IDUBs did.
Yes, I know that, and I've addressed him thoroughly.
All right,
do you know that? Do you believe he should have included the context of the CPS call?
This is a good question. No, wait. Let me rephrase that. That is a terrible question. But I know the response, so I'll wait until.
What?
What? You don't know what I'm talking about?
By the way, this is a terrible question because they're easy counter.
Wait. I'm.
The counter is. Sorry, I'm pausing. The counter is. Yes. He should have added that. Literally saying yes, he should have added that. And be like, I did not have the editing product, but I believe he should have. Would have saved him.
I'm a little confused. You are asking me.
Yes.
What my opinion is on
the video.
IDUB's content comp.
Correct. That's correct.
About the CPS, I don't know, maybe, sure, okay.
Yes.
I mean, I think it was more so about.
Yeah.
I think it was more so about like your year-long conquest of deplatforming and also
right.
harassing.
Well, 90%.
And that's the downfall. And that's the downfall right there. That's the downfall right there. The win condition for that one question to survive, to actually turn on Ethan would, yes, he should have, nothing else. This is why I think it's a hard question. It's an easy question, but it would have been a good response. You could have actually denied a lot more things, but he did this, and like, you're watching this, you're going to have people hate you for this.
None of the clips were from the episode entitled CPS Came to My House, Hassan. I don't know if you think that's an important detail. I sure do.
Ethan, I think you know my position on this, as I've made it very clear. I think it's completely inappropriate to fucking call
No.
CPS.
That's obvious.
I'm
saying your friend Hassan you made a video with did a total fucking hit job. All right, go ahead. Ask me a question.
Yep, so another strat is he not conceding point, by the way. This is not conceding point. I keep saying that. What it is, it delay hits. Basically, to make it not look like Hassan is you're being going in aggressive, you're going to delay one of your questions until he answers. Because when you do that, you're not going to be a pushover. You're going to be aggressive on hard question, but your plan is for the light, simple question. You kind of want to say, okay, and ask me a question. And that's sort of the trap you kind of want to set up.
When you have a G-Fiber appointment, you don't need to find ways to...
I don't have any, like...
Go ahead.
Listen to me. Listen, we're both content creators online. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. We both have received an endless wave of harassment You and I have talked privately about this.
Hassan, I don't
when
care.
we
Let's
were-
just go
when we
on.
had a
You,
podcast.
I don't.
No,
I,
what do you mean? You
I
brought
don't-
this up. You brought it up. Hold on.
I
let
know
me
what
say
you're
my piece.
saying. We've all
You
been
brought it up.
harassed. The internet
Let
is
me
tough.
bring- let me
Whatever,
say
yada
my
yada.
piece.
Ask me a question.
No. Please, Ethan, please.
Because you're so
Please.
boring, bro. I just want to have an interesting conversation.
You know
Go
who
ahead.
else also told me that? Andrew Tate. Please, just hold on.
Wow,
and let
I have-
me
wow,
try
God
to
forbid.
explain my position to you. You and I are both content creators. We get an endless wave of harassment, doxing, swatting, all of this stuff, okay? Sometimes by the same people, ironically enough, by the same communities. You and I know we've had these conversations in private
been a
before we stop doing our podcast. And you know my position on this. I think it's completely
I
unacceptable.
know you're
because
against
I am victim to the
CPS.
same
That's
exact
not
things that happen to you in this regard. I would never in a million years
Okay,
advocate
ask
for
me a
that sort of
question.
thing and don't think it's appropriate.
Very
and
good.
I don't
Ask
know
me a
why you
question.
think
So the reason why Ethan doing this, sorry I'm doing, is mainly because he don't want rambling. One, to show. Two, it makes it more confusing. So the best way to win the debate, by the way, is never to be like, oh, this is it. You make your point clear, precise, and you break other points by making it clear and precise what you're saying. Once you go into rambling states, no one cares. Like, no one will pay attention to Hassan, and that's sort of the strat. If, like, I want to get a little political. Like, do you guys remember, like, Kamala Harris word salad jokes people were making? No one was paying attention to what she was saying. But if you have someone who was precise, and they're like, yeah, I don't like it because this, then this, it makes it stronger.
that I have anything to do with
Because
this.
you're not you're misrepresenting what I asked you. I didn't ask you, do you think it's okay that people called CPS? I asked that the video that you participated in, which was a total fucking hit job that used 90% of its clip from an episode of the podcast called CPS Got Called on Me and didn't even include the title of the podcast. Now, do you think that's fair?
I think you should take this up with IDUBs.
See, that's the thing. So, look, you should not be aggressive about that. But I think a little aggression, that was a little too much. But I think he broke Hassan. That was like good break of defense. Because Hassan, like, he trying to say, oh, this, trying to say, he asking him a bit, it's a more simple question, and he had to be like, oof. I can't push that far.
Instead of me.
Okay,
I
sure.
didn't
Ask me
make
a
any
question.
Editorial. Yeah, I didn't make any of the editorial decisions in IDUBs' content cop.
I'm asking what you thought about it, okay? Not if you made
Yeah,
it.
an opinion question, which is actually a good opening question. It also a good setup question too. I'm gonna like this get like a joke like, but that a good question you could set up, and the thing is, this question does way more damage. It's a think question, and how you win these questions for anybody who have something similar, you agree, and you disavow whoever done it, and you know why? Because you don't, and you say, I have remorse for what happened, done. But you don't do this. You don't do what Hassan did.
Pretty obvious. Go ahead,
This
ask
is-
me a
I'm
question.
sure it would have been. I'm sure that I'm sure that it would have been all right if he mentioned it.
It would have been all right?
I don't know why this is a major point of contention for you.
Because it made it seem like he would not doing it on purpose. But also the good opening question to see what your mindset is. See, you need to figure out what your opponent playing. This is a good mindset. If he admitted yes, we can actually have more engaging, higher level topics. And maybe you could have moved away from the Palestinian stuff. From the YouTuber stuff way earlier. But because he felt his thing, and it could be on Nathan, I'm not saying it, but if he knew he would go and do that, he could set up two traps and immediately got him in a hold.
I thought we were going to talk about Israel-Palestine.
We're talking about whatever we want to talk about. You had said that I have problems with your character. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, ask me a question.
But you having problems with my character.
Hassan, ask me a question.
Yeah, but the thing. Okay, this is another thing. Sorry, I'm rewatching this part. It's a good trap for what he did. Because, he talked about it. He wanted to talk about Palestine and Israel, and I think Ethan knows that. I think Ethan's strategy was to put that in there, so it set HASAN up to fail during the Palestine, because like he said he support, but like you have time where you're like, oh, your rhetoric is the reason, and I think those are the things. So remember,
move on to the next topic. From you asking me about IDUB's editorial decisions in his content cop.
I'm asking about your opinion on it. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Okay. So, do you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza?
Yes.
Okay, great. Awesome. So you agree with the with numerous human rights organizations?
yeah, okay. See, he wants to have that question be like that. He panicked. He probably thought, no, he probably not going. He going to add stuff. See, that's the right answer. You do it. Yes. Because guess what? He can't work on it, so he panicking.
The UN,
I already said yes.
Okay, great. No, that's important. Thank you.
Yeah, and see, he did because he knew he would go and ramble on to a next question.
Thank you for saying that. I also agree on this. If you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza, okay, do you feel like you have used your limited amount of time that you have as a content creator speaking out against Israel doing a genocide on the Palestinian population living in the Gaza Strip, or do you feel like most of your commentary on that issue has overwhelmingly been to rail against people that are doing that?
Sure.
Pro-Palestinian advocates.
I don't know.
Dude, that's a dumb question. Yeah, no, sorry, that's a dumb question. You could have just worded it like, do you use your time into promoting Palestinians or promoting the drama? You could have just said that and not been more precise. There's no wiggle room. This have wiggle room.
Feel like you've been wronged by, myself included.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but if you're pro-Palestine, it doesn't absolve you of criticism. That's something that you guys keep harping on.
Do I think my coverage? And I don't think that's the case. I don't think that is the case.
And that's where you could end the debate right there, because Ethan won that with that one thing. You could still get criticism as a content creator, even if you support Palestine. He said no, and I think there's a lot more value you could bring up. You can bring up the point. All this.
Okay. Do you think my coverage has been like totally balanced? I would say no. I've obviously given less time to the Palestinian perspective, and I think the reason for that is simply that.
No, not just the Palestinian perspective, Ethan. I think
no,
that rather than talking about that issue in and of itself, rather than talking about the genocide itself,
see, he putting words. I think Ethan had a better point that he putting his own perspective as someone who lived in Israel, and I think that had a better answer than
every time you have
HASAN, I'm answering your question.
Every time you've talked about Israel, Palestine.
See, because that like the strat. So you're starting to know that he want to talk and put stuff in there, and Ethan blocking that right now.
It almost always revolved around.
I was going to tell you why. Do you want to let me answer?
Personal vendettas that you have experienced
I was
from
going to explain that.
Content creators.
Okay.
Because HASAN wanted to do that, but Ethan started attacking outward, which is a lot better, in my opinion. The other thing is, in that type, that is bad faith. Automatically, if you know debates, some like thing, that bad faith to begin with, that you're putting words in your opponent's mouth. It means that you already know what he's going to say, you don't, and guess what? He could counter that 5 times, and it makes you look dumb.
Would you like me to? You asked me a question, so I'm going to answer it. The reason for that being is that I feel like I'm responding to a lot of bullshit that's been passed my way ever since Leftovers ended, starting from you and your community. Now, that's my answer to that. Now, let me ask you about this. This sword has a Nazi swastika hilt.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. I have a question for you. If you had to make a choice between...
No, I don't. Okay, you see, this question going to be a trap question. A trap question is, you want them to explain it. Remember, this is similar to the first question, where the right answer is you have to take the hit. And the hit is, no, they should have not grabbed that. I don't know the reason why. This is what inappropriate. Even though it not that, we both know it not that. There should have been more sense. I wasn't in the room, so I had no idea.
Okay.
Do you disagree? What's funny about that?
Oh wait,
I think it's funny because you've made this a major point of concern.
Wait, here's the other thing. He wearing the Palestine thing that IDUB were wearing. Just bringing that up there.
It's a swastika, is it not?
Yeah, it's a sword that is a bleach sword, as you know already, that has a hilt that has a Japanese Manji sign on it. But yes, it does look like a swastika, as I've also noticed and have talked about on numerous occasions that you've brought forward.
Yeah, of course you're conceding that because we fished this up, but yeah.
Such as when I made fun of, I believe it was Alexa that grabbed it, and I said, "Oh, you immediately go for the swastika one." Yeah, exactly. Do you think?
Anyway, my point is, Hassan, if I can continue my point, is that you knew it was a swastika sword. So what is the, so I mean.
Okay, watch this. I've seen this, so I know which way they're going, but I'm going to explain why I bought it before. You don't want to explain this point. You want to take the hit. It's going to be a big hit, but half of this, he could have just deflected off to IDUBs. He doesn't owe IDUBs anything. And I think that would have been a better win condition.
And why did you guys choose to pose with this sword?
Yeah, why?
Ethan?
Answer that. Why was the choice made for this sword?
This is a terrible question. Yeah, I forgot. This is one of my complaints to Ethan. I think a better question would be, would it be appropriate still to post that knowing the context that they were targeting to an Israeli? Or some question that more opinion based, because now it's accusation based and it doesn't work because he wasn't there.
You again. One, it's not a swastika, but
I thought they were 10 minutes after.
I did not make this editorial decision. I wasn't even.
Do you think it's reasonable to perceive that as a swastika?
Ethan,
answer the question.
Yeah. See, he should have started with that. Does it perceive as a swastika? Because if it doesn't, that looks way worse. And he should have targeted that first.
Is it reasonable to perceive that?
I don't think it was a deliberate decision that IDUBs made, but I don't know. I don't know his mind.
Hassan, they're your swords, and according to the New York Times article, there was 10 options. So what's the chances that they chose the swastika one? That seems pretty
1/10.
Slim.
Well,
you have 10 swords, don't you?
The week prior to that, I believe. I don't know the exact timeline. I don't really remember when they shot this, but I had the sword out because I was doing an Assassin's Creed promo. Do you feel like if I thought it was like genuinely a swastika sword,
Wait. I'm fact checking that. Image? Would it be an image? Would it be in video then? Yeah, where the... is it on X? Or... Some Piker Assassin's Creed? Yeah, but... Oh no, this is anti, I just want the image. Is this it? No, that's Bill. I can't find it. Wait. I can't find it. I don't care about pop culture. Okay, we're going to check this.
This is just people looking to do. So here's what's going on. We are, once again,
With the
doing
sword. I don't think that's the sword. Bleach. Sword. I could be wrong. Yeah, okay, he did have it. Because that's the sword and it's right here. But from the image, these got removed. This would have been moved back. Because the sword right here, by the way, if people are wondering.
bad shot have been saying and doing about it. Obviously, I talked about like the Jap. Don't ask us the Ministry of.
Which he didn't even need to have that sword. He could. I'm not going to fight that.
I would use it in an Assassin's Creed promo shot.
Yes.
I got
That's
on
what we
the
call dog whistle, Hassan. And what you're doing is gaslighting somebody. You made a video. Let me make a point here, Hassan, because you're the king of microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minority
This is
groups.
true.
Right?
This
So
is
you
true.
made a video.
What's up,
You
Jews?
participated in a video accusing a Jewish. Let me finish my point, Hassan. No. Stop. You are making a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism while exhibiting the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. Do you not see this as a problem? Or at least, am I insane for thinking this is odd?
I will.
Ethan.
We may go for an hour on this. And then
Answer the
tomorrow
question.
we will go
I
for
don't need you to consult me.
I didn't even hear your question. I need you to.
Well,
I
you
need
should try
to answer
listening instead of
something.
speaking.
I'm just looking for clarification here. Do you think that I deliberately was using a dog whistle in an
Yes.
Assassin's Creed promo, or that it was a cool sword that was laying around because it's the only long sword?
But you called it a swastika sword, and also look behind you. I'm sorry, you had two swords right there. You didn't use them. You also had the thing there, so you didn't even need one right there.
I have.
You have 10 swords.
I know they're heavy. That's not a real sword.
So yes, I'm aware that it's not a real sword, but you had 10 to choose from. What does it matter how much they weigh?
Yeah, the other ones are heavy.
Let me
Ethan.
paint a
I'm
scenario.
waving that
Let
shit
me
around.
paint, Hassan, let me paint a scenario.
Or hear me out. Like, dude, here's the thing. He could just blame IDUB, and it would have
for you,
worked.
Okay. Listen, okay? This is important.
Tony Bo IDUB had
Participated in
dirt
a
on him.
video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism. You exhibited in that video the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. 1 out of 10 of your swords that you have previously already stated you know is the, quote, swastika sword. So am I insane for even... You're treating me like I'm insane for bringing this up, but it sounds pretty reasonable.
I mean, it's a little insane.
So
yes.
yeah,
No. See, that wrong answer again. The right answer for this is yes, you are right. You know, take some hits, because if you do that, you can get to the Palestine quicker.
Expressions
Because
just don't
you're
exist
asking
for
me-
Jewish people.
You're asking me
We're gonna go.
why IDUBs.
It's your
I want
sword,
to finish.
though. I don't
I want to
believe
do
that
the
you
sword
were
part,
IDUBs.
and then maybe a couple days.
I don't know. I don't know why you're asking me.
Because
why
it's
IDUBs
your
chose
house
that.
and your sword.
But I also. I
don't
gave
wanna
you
stream
what
until
my
11
speculation is,
or 1.
and that is that
It was just
it's
a
most
cosmic
likely because
chance.
I had
Okay.
previously had it laying around because I had just
And
done
then-
an Assassin's Creed promo.
Okay, if you say so. So if it's a cosmic fluke, which you claim, then why leave the photo up?
I'm not even in the photo. I don't.
I
think,
know
right?
it's in your
Am I
room
even
though,
in the-
and with your sword. Why leave the photo up if it's a cosmic fluke?
Bad question again. You should have said, should Ian take down that? You want to go with more not direct, indirect responses to make that point and ask why. Though a better trap question, and they do it. But look, I'm not even going to criticize. Here's the thing. Also, even Clyde only did one other debate. Hassan should be a natural and call that out immediately and
Why
say,
are you asking me this question? I don't know. I'm not. Ethan.
I'm sorry, Hassan. Are you unable to make value judgments on?
yeah, but he can just say that question wasn't a value thing, and that would have been a better trap.
Situations like isn't that what you do for a living? Do you think that IDUB should have removed?
I don't think it's relevant.
See, the second question was good. See, should you think IDUB?
Or that big of a deal at all. If that's what you're trying to get out of me, like, yeah, I think it's not.
Okay, so you're telling a Jewish man who's complaining about a very odd coincidence that I'm crazy and I'm exaggerating.
Over the Mangiana, Ethan. Can we? Okay, you got me. All right. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, you got me. I put a swastika in the video calling you out for exaggerating anti-Semitism.
That's not what I'm saying.
You got me.
Do that.
Terrible thing, but funny. Sometimes it breaks if it's funny, guys. Sometimes the rule breaks a little because it's funny.
Yes, you did. You literally did.
I didn't do that.
Okay, laugh about it. Go on.
It's not a swastika. And
then
I don't
why should he leave it
think
out?
You have that much of an issue with swastikas, considering you drew one on PewDiePie.
I'm a Jewish man, you fucking moron.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Is anyone in that room Jewish?
What's
anyone in that room? Did I draw swastika one time on?
Do you think that Jews have an exclusivity agreement with like being offended or not offended by?
Oh wait, here's one of the best trap. I think Ethan should harp on this harder, but I think it would. This is actually unofficially a really good trap. He going to use. He should harp on it more.
The imagery you've done. A Sig Heil approximately what 50 times.
Why did I do a Sig Heil? Why did I do a Sig?
Oh wait, not here. A little bit. Not this part.
Heil.
I don't know.
Because you only watch clips on Twitter. I was making fun of Elon Musk and trying to see if it was valid or not.
Oh, thank you.
And by the way, as a Jewish man, are you going to tell black people not to use the N-word?
There it is. That's an actual good trap. Bad way of putting it, but I would use that. And I would have kept harping him on that until he said no or yes. Because either way he does, he loses the debate. Either he racist or racist. Or he pro-censorship. Pro-censorship, racism. And I think that trap is a hard trap to defeat. And I think even should have pressed that harder.
Wait, what?
Are you going to tell black people not to use the N-word because it offends you?
Shout out to Olivia.
No, you should have said, this situation, if it were a black person saying the N-word, would you do it?
Ryan and Ava.
As
orders
it's
are
also the same
and
thing.
Loaded
Or
with
draw.
Surprises. Since you ordered through this.
Do you think this is an apt comparison?
Yes.
It is. And once you start questioning, that also the worst answer you could have said, dude. The worst question you could have said with that. And that was just because he's trying to get doubt, but they're both bad. So like denouncing one of them doesn't look good.
Okay, so you think that being able to draw the your anti-Semitism radar is completely out of.
See, he deflect that, which is the only response he could have done. But if he kept harping him on that until he got an answer, I think it would have ended.
And who are you to say that to me? You posed with a swastika.
Terrible response. I would have harped on him and said, answer the question.
You're saying that it's not a swastika, and you know it's not a swastika.
I mean, it literally is a swastika.
No, it's not.
Let me see the swords in your background. Why didn't you choose one of those ones?
I didn't choose the sword.
I mean, that bad point should say, like, why did they not pick the sword back there? Did you tell them not to touch that? Well, they were touching other. They could have touched that. They touched your bleach sword. Now, it could have been because they were trying to be safe, edgy. You could have, but here's the thing. You could have denounced them 5 times. And here's the thing. I'm going to tell you guys how Hassan could have won this point in one move. Blame IDUBs. That's it. You just say they were trying to be safe, edgy. I don't know the reason. Probably because of that. And they thought they could get away. They didn't. I don't support that. Boom. You just ruined even thing. You got every single point. You probably even got the.
I don't believe you.
This is a productive
the
use
next
of our time.
argument.
Absolutely.
So anyway, you say it's a weird cosmic fluke. Personally, if I think it was a weird cosmic fluke, you say basically it's not a swastika. The difference between the Hindu symbol and
but it's not.
Okay, right. The difference between the Hindu symbol
What
and
you
the
drew on
Nazi
PewDiePie,
swastika.
on the other hand, was a swastika.
I'll finish what I said. Yeah, I'm a Jewish man. I depicted a swastika, a tasteless joke on IDUB's shirt 10 years ago. You said this is the swastika sword, and you keep it in your house, and you use it and pose it in photos, attacking a Jewish.
Well, not even that. He used it in a promo. I'm sorry, but Assassin's Creed, you guys should really remove him. Like, I think that bad PR. In my opinion, but that's a joke. That joke.
I jokingly referred to it as looking like a swastika when my friend picked it up.
So
if I genuinely thought it was a swastika memorabilia, do you think I would keep it in my house?
Dude, you're being so obtuse. I know it's not a swastika, right? And I know you know it's not a swastika, but it is literally a swastika also. Because the difference between a swastika and that Hindu symbol is this. You see what I'm doing? This is the difference. If you ask a Hindu person, would they walk around with a swastika sign?
Wait, so you know?
It inverts.
No, they know that looks like a swastika.
Sword.
Dude,
So
because the issue is, here's the issue, and this is why I think this is a losing issue for HASAN. You just need to admit it was dumb. It's like, literally, the win condition for HASAN for this one point is to admit your fault on this. And say, like, it wasn't mine. I do not agree with it. It was bad. I should, today, after, or now, I can't decide it there. I want freedom of speech. But IDUBs need to delete that. Because that was inappropriate. And all of them should apologize. And I think that a better one. I think that a better way to handle that. And it would have gotten him more point, would have allowed him to actually be more human. But this is like denying stuff. This is like moving left and right.
I'm a little confused.
Ask your Hindu friends if they would walk around with like a swastika brandished. They know.
Okay.
Are you Hindu?
That is a really tough question. I can't answer that one.
I am not Hindu.
Okay, interesting.
No.
So anyway, it was a cosmic fluke.
Do you think
brandished
that only, do you think that only Hindu people have bleed swords? Like, what's going on?
So he did that because he wanted to trap him into being that. And it's sort of like a deflection question. But they're a fun counter you can do. Ethan doesn't do it. But I think a funner one is you just say, Are you racist? No, we're talking about the symbol. We're talking about the manji, which you don't believe in.
We're discussing the symbol, not the sword.
Yeah, and I think that dumb thing, he should not just said that. That like something that made him not look as smart. And it also pointed out another issue, it's he not listening fully, which I think Ethan kind of is, kind of not. Like, here's the thing. The real way you win these debates is you listen to your opponent and you ask questions that can break them. And you ask good questions. I think Ethan in this, we're asking questions that are good follow-ups. They're a lot emotional. HASAN really doesn't. Like, he's trying to, like, get in with jabs. And here's the thing. This is not... It's not like a group thing where you need to jab people with that. The real way you win these is you just talk normally.
Okay, go ahead. So you think it was a cosmic fluke?
Cosmic
there
fluke.
was 10 swords. He magically picked that one.
Hey, he had a 10% chance.
I'm speculating on
he left
the
it up.
decision-making
If
of
it was
a
a mistake, he could have deleted it.
I'm not him.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Again, I'm going to repeat myself here. I think I'm doing
You
this
don't
a
need
lot.
to.
Yeah, but dude, that dumb point. If like, in your opinion of if he should delete or not, I think the real win condition here is you should take the bullet on that. You take the shot in the thing, which makes you more human, which makes you willing to make your mistake. But you're deflecting this, which makes you look bad. I'm looking at one comment. Yeah, I didn't even know that. This is true. This definitely, you could see tension. No, the whole reason. Okay, I'm going with the third thing. The reason why they couldn't get on moderate one. Like, who gonna be moderating it? You can't have denims. Dude, she gonna favor that. And also, here's the thing. I think, like, the moderator doing pretty good right now. Because for you don't want him jumping in. You want him jumping in when it attacks and, like, full on you're accusing.
Go ahead.
I am not
Ask me the next
IDUB.
question.
I don't know what was going on.
I'm not
in his
accusing you of being
mind.
IDUBs, Hassan, but you're acting like you're incapable of making value judgments on things because you're not
No, because
IDUBs.
I already made the value judgment. I think you're being crazy.
Okay, well, Mr. Microaggressions thinks I'm being crazy. Very good. You have no problem telling Jewish people they're being crazy on what?
Yes.
It's like a blatant fuck. Go ahead, ask me the next question.
Yes, I don't.
Good. That was a good stop, by the way. He stopped that to prevent over speaking. Which is basically him. It basically, he doesn't want to say more to figure out. So that way he cut himself off. And while he's doing that, he's de-escalating himself, which is a good skill.
Do you think if you could go back, you're being crazy right now. You being Jewish has nothing to do with this.
That was the worst response ever, Hassan. Thank you for that. You know why that's the worst response, guys? Because, say that with me, I would have been like, no, common sense is the better option. You know what is? Maybe you don't do that. So when you do they and all that. By the way.
Sure. I'm sure it doesn't. Do you think going back that it was a mistake to use that sword?
I don't really care.
That's a kill question right there. That's a kill question on that, by the way. Remember, the last 3 questions have one answer. Yes. This one is the same. Yes. Because what it's trying to do, and this is the part people don't get, this is demonizing Hassan without people knowing. Which is beneficial. Remember, yes, it's humanizing. Everything else is bad optics. Him saying, I don't care, after this getting perceived at this, demonized, makes him feel like...
About this at all.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that really shows where you're at on this. Go ahead and ask me a question.
Because now, if this were like even like 1% better, he would, like, normally you take notes. So I don't know if he's taking notes, but I would type that way. He did not care about this. And when he talks about, like, I don't know, later on, like the ADL, you bring that back up to get a knife wound. Like a big, you said that, do you change your mind sort of answers.
Okay. So, since you believe that Israel is committing a genocide, what are the appropriate steps that people can take, both in the Western world and also regional actors can take, against this entity doing a genocide by your own admission, that you would consider to be appropriate? Because it feels like throughout this entire process, you have set boundaries on what you think
just
is
killing civilians. That's the boundary.
Too long, didn't read. Here's the thing. Just say, like, what is the boundary you should feel? When you add too much thing like this, you make it so much more confusing while putting jab. That way I think he went jump in. And I think Ethan had good defense with the last couple. Because he's trying to get him to be like, my answer are 1 words. You're going in explaining or word salading everything.
Set boundaries on what you think is inappropriate.
Killing civilians.
And time and time again has said is outright anti-Semitic.
My boundary is killing civilians.
Okay, that's great. So
is that unreasonable?
That's a perfectly reasonable boundary to set.
Okay, good. So
I
then
totally
we don't
agree
disagree
with you on that. Great.
Okay. So let me ask you the next one. Let me ask you about this Tabra tier list.
Hold on. I have a. Can I? Let me finish.
Well, you asked and I answered. Go ahead. You could go on a little bit more.
Okay, so
Yeah, which that would have jumped the gun, but I think if like he didn't know if there were more because he like I don't know. Say I have a next question, and ultimately that was too long, so I think he like it more like he fell more than one.
hold on. Everyone is complaining about my volume on my side because we're using Zoom instead of Discord. So my fucking audio.
Yeah. By the way, the whole reason why you Zoom it more privated, you pretty much another thing is it makes it harder to look at this informational streams. Because most likely you have it full screen, and sometimes the host can see what they're opening. So
it's fine. Take your time to
get
get
my audio keeps going up and down. Okay.
That why.
So, one of the first conversations that we had, you and I had, that led to the Leftovers podcast ending, was that you considered "From the River to the Sea, Palestine will be free" to be an anti-Semitic slogan. You said that Jews feel like this is an exterminationist slogan, and Jews fear this slogan in the United States of America.
Correct.
If you think that Israel's doing a genocide, do you feel like it is appropriate for Westerners in the United States of America and Palestinians and people of Palestinian descent to be able to use emancipatory slogans, or should they go to jail under the Trump administration?
That was too long. You could have just built up question. See, this is the issue with HASAN. If you actually want to know the big issue, he makes it all one question. You have to build up. You build up questions because once you start building them up, they improve overall. So, for example, I would have the first question he did, then second, then third, because then you get the build-up line. But the big issue is when you combine them all, it makes it where you can get so many outs. And that's the big issue with this one is, if they were me, I could have just gone out by now. Or Ethan could have gone out, which he probably will.
Okay, I mean, these are pretty extreme questions. Now, I'm not making a value judgment.
Yeah, and he did. He just got out because he said they're extreme questions, which are very much easy to break. By the way, when you say extreme questions, they're different between extreme and hard question. Extreme questions. Sorry, I'm fixing up my. Sorry, fixing that. Extreme question mean they're more time easily breakable. Like they're not hard. They're not hard question. Like this is not a hard question. You go and say, no, I believe that, but I think like the slogan overall, like there are better way to say it, and I think like ultimately the slogan never worked in history.
I'm just trying.
All I was trying to do. Question is what's happening right now.
Bro, do you want me to answer?
Okay.
Yeah.
And good cutoff, because you don't want him explaining more.
I'm trying to explain the Jewish perspective. I'm not trying to make a value judgment of it. But what I will tell you is that how do you feel about Norm Finkelstein?
Upgrade to Google Fiber and
Uh,
pay one
is
simple
it Norm
bill
Finkelstein?
every month.
What about is that extra Norm fees, Finkelstein?
Like
I don't know who he looks.
Love Norm. I know he has said that it
Here's
is.
what he had to say about this.
I know what he
No,
said.
no. I want the audience to see this, Hassan.
Hold on. Can I just?
Hassan.
By the way, for people who are like this guy, I think clips are actually better for this format. As this is like, if you're like, let's say I was watching watching the Norman Finkelstein thing, I want the audience to hear it. I don't want that because guess what? Someone can misinterpret the point. It better to show the clip if there is any.
I want the audience to see this video.
This is not going to be a gotcha moment for you because I know Norm's position.
Good, I'm glad you know. Let's let the audience know, Hassan.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Hassan, let the audience watch the video.
I can have a nuanced.
By the way, that bad faith. By the way, in a debate, if I knew the information, and I'm assuming the audience doesn't know, I'm going to have them watch the clip anyways, because it could refresher, it could mind thing. But this is like sort of you don't want, because like someone got with the knife. It doesn't work that much.
Reasonable disagreement with a person that I actually admire.
So that's what we're having.
Like Norm. But I have
so
a
it's
disagreement with him
nuanced
on
and
that, yes.
understandable with Norm. Let the audience watch the video, Hassan.
Okay. Go ahead.
Palestine will be free.
Let me go
The
back.
slogan
Yeah. Here's the Norm Finkelstein, a prominent figurehead in the Palestinian liberation movement.
I would like the slogan
I know.
from the
I
river
have
to
more
the sea.
positions that I disagree with him on.
The video
this
clip
as
Palestine
well.
will be free. I think it's a bad slogan. I know the slogan from the 1960s, the 1970s. It was a bad slogan then, and it's a bad slogan now because it has too much ambiguity. When you say from the river
Hassan's gonna hit me with the Cherry Act.
to the sea,
Sorry, that was funny.
Palestine will be free. Obviously, a question arises. Okay, what happens to the Jews in that scenario? And some people will say, well, all it's about is everybody being free, but that's not what the slogan says. So I have, in recent weeks, I have voiced my concern that it's a bad slogan. And I said, just change it, tweak it. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free. And
by the way, that I don't care musically, but also that is sort of a good point. Like, it should probably be changed into something about equal, because once you go into there, it's way easier to get anti-Semitics to get in there. Sorry, I'm just going to say that.
you can't answer that slogan.
Yeah, you can't counter it by merely saying that.
So you're talking
something
about
else.
is equal rights for everyone. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free.
No, wait. From the river to the sea, everyone equal votes. Everyone shall be free. Like something like that.
And I've
Well,
encountered
I don't know if he
Or
actually
should be
means the
free.
one vote thing, because I think what he's saying is good in that. From the river to the sea, Palestinians will be free, which I think is good. You're laughing at
Norm.
Norm.
Routinely talked at campus encampments, college campus, Palestinian encampments as to, I'm not going to make much hay about the slogan in general. There's plenty of other slogans.
Well,
that
you're willing
are,
to listen to him, but when I say it, it becomes a big controversy. I literally,
No, I'm
not.
telling
It's
you
not
that
even my
I can
opinion.
have a disagreement with him on that, and you're forgetting one key factor.
What's that?
Okay, you're forgetting one key factor. Norm Finkelstein still ultimately will always say, while I disagree with the slogan because I think it scares people, it ultimately does not matter, and I'm not going to stand in opposition to it. He doesn't say it's anti-Semitic.
When have I opposed
He
it?
doesn't say it is exterminationist.
When have I opposed
says,
it?
See, putting words in his mouth. That way he's saying, when did I say it? Because you need evidence. And I think ultimately, Ethan knows he doesn't have evidence for it. So when he's saying that, it breaks that down. Like, as someone who, remember, listening. He's listening to that and being like, no, I didn't say that. Where did I say that?
That's what people think.
When
If
have
you
I
think
opposed
that,
it?
If you think that Norm Finkelstein would be in agreement with you in
He
any way,
literally is
shape,
in
or
agreement
form
with
on
me.
any issue, please have a conversation with him.
He's
I would-
literally in agreement with me, like
I would
verbatim.
okay. No,
Actually,
that's
even
great.
more.
You said
He-
it was
he-
anti-Semitic. Norm doesn't think it's anti-Semitic.
Hassan,
do
you remember me advocating against it? Do you remember me advocating against it?
Finkelstein if he agrees with you on anything.
Sure, I'll ask Norm Finkelstein. Do you remember me denouncing that statement and saying people shouldn't say it?
Are you looking for a new fence or gate for your home or property? Type in your
I'm
address
about to
and
add
drop
in
the
like
red.
one.
I believe in our conversation.
No, it
you said
didn't
was
happen.
that-
You're lying.
You said it was anti-Semitic.
I said it's perceived that way by Jewish people. All right, let's move on.
It's perceived by that by
the
most
Sabra
people.
tier list.
Norm
now,
does not believe it's an anti-Semitic
very
slogan.
good. I'll ask him about it. Now, let me ask you about
Are you actually going to do that? Because that would be wonderful.
Yes,
I
I'm
think that would
going
be
to talk to
incredibly
Norm.
productive.
We'll have a great conversation about From the River to the Sea.
Is it Wait, can I ask you a question?
No. It's my turn.
Okay,
you spoke,
go ahead.
and now it's my turn.
You know what? You go ahead.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate that. That's very gracious of you.
Well, I mean, it's just a back and forth conversation, but
Yeah.
you seemingly have a lot of grievances not pertaining to the actual issue at hand. But
I don't know. The issue, my friend, the issue at hand is your behavior.
No, I think the issue at hand is the genocide.
Well, we seem to be coming at this from two different angles, which is great, right? So let me ask you this. Hold on. You said it's my turn to ask, so let me do that. Is it my turn to ask a question or what?
That there's a genocide. You already recognize that Israel is committing a genocide.
I can care about two things, Hassan. It's very important to acknowledge that.
Don't you think
I can care about two things, my friend?
Incredibly narrow framework
very
surrounding
easy.
your own personal feelings.
I'm not that smart, but I can care about two things.
Okay, no,
even
I
if
can
one
too.
is more urgent than the other.
You think your own personal feelings, born out of your misunderstandings, is more important?
Dude, that personal attack, no one cares. Like, intellectuals see that and they're like, dude, you're bad. Oh man, wait. So apparently, the OEP owner applied 11 million to Israel lobby. Okay.
Did I say that?
Then
I said one
actually-
is more urgent than the other, referring to the genocide.
Oh, okay. So you recognize that
Hassan,
the genocide is a more urgent
Hassan,
issue.
please let me
but you
ask a
spent
question.
Almost all of your
Yes, very
commentary
good.
surrounding this issue
Very
on
good.
talking about your own personal feelings and how you've been wronged by people.
Very good. Let me ask you. So you claimed on.
Wait, can you answer that question?
No,
Does
Hassan,
that
you
make
asked your
sense?
question. It's my turn. I talked about how gracious you were, man. What happened?
Wait, but
I
does
said
that
you're
make
so
sense to
gracious.
you?
You're gonna let me ask you a question. What happened?
Does that make
Don't
sense
make me
to
take
you?
it back. All right,
Does
let me
that
ask you a
make
question.
sense to you?
Hold on to that. Ask me after this. You defended Frogan's use of the Sabra tier list.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'm going back by a couple, and then I'm going to end stream because it's late. I thought I could get the nieces done in like 1 hour. It took an hour and a half. So yeah, oof. But I'm ending stream tomorrow. We're probably going to hopefully finish most of it, and then either Thursday I finish the